apologize for telling lies, for every night you stayed up and all the times you cried. Broken hearts on timelines, trapped in our confines. Love's a contract, signing blood on dotted lines. We perfect on the gram, but in person we a mess. All the filters in the world couldn't cover up this mess. We was goals to the people, but the love couldn't last. Posting pictures of the future, but we stuck in the past. We would argue every Friday, make up every Sunday, breaking up at midnight, back together Monday. Love is like a cycle, spin around on the runway, crashing every season, but taking off the same way. Say you want the truth, but you crumble when it's shown. You the type to break the windows and complain about the stone. See, I deleted all the text, but screenshots never lie. I was saying I was working, but I was really outside. I was caught up in the cycle, I can't seem to let it end. I was breaking every vow, but swearing I'll amend. I'm faithful on the ground, but a villain in the flesh. Two faces in the mirror, both toxic, both a mess.
I used to believe in you, hung on to every word you said. Thought it was me and you, but you had other plans instead. You couldn't stay true, you welcomed her into our bed. You must have lost your mind, you must be out your head, yeah. 'Cause you're a snake, you're a liar, I'll bring rain, I'll bring fire, and you won't know peace. You're a clown, you're a fool, but the joke's on you, 'cause you messed with me. I don't get hurt, no, I get even. Best believe it's heartbreak season. I'll bring rain and I'll bring fire, and you won't know peace. You won't know peace, no. You won't know peace. You won't know peace, no, no. You won't know peace. Best believe it's heartbreak season.
Get the likes up, get the likes up. Hey, know I'm talking about, know I'm talking about, know I'm talking about. We back, Ratchet Gang. We back with another one. We back with another banger. Let's get the likes up. Look, you might have forgot. Hell, they might have forgot. But you already know it's the king. Too loyal, know I'm talking about. Ratchet TV. Hey, y'all already know, man. Y'all already know. Get the likes up if you in the building. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Tap that notification bell so you can get the drop whenever I drop. Alright, so boom. Man. We gotta talk, Ratchet Gang. We gotta chop it up. Look, tonight, we gotta chop it up. We gotta chop it up about this this Charlie Kirk situation, man. This situation is getting to be a little spooky, man. I did a deep dive on this last night. If you missed the live stream, you missed a very epic one, because I think last night's show was one of the best shows we've ever done. I'm gonna be real. I went back and I barely ever go back and watch my content. I be going live so much and so many hours. I don't keep up with my own content. I just post it, and most of the time people be having to remind me, hey, you remember so and so? I'm like, damn, that did happen. I be doing so much content, I just be forgetting sometimes. It's very rare that I go back. It's just certain cases that kind of stick with me a little bit, and I have to go back and rewatch some of my content. Last night I went back and rewatched that live. It was one of the best lives we've ever done. So if you missed that live last night, go back and check it. We went viral last night. It was an explosive live. We uncovered a lot of crazy stuff in that live. Salute to Carmen Arroyo for that membership. I appreciate you for getting that membership. Salute. Also, salute to Diane Peters for that 20 piece. I appreciate you. That's how you're supposed to start the shows off, man, with a 20 piece McNugget. I appreciate you. Salute, salute, salute. Y'all been showing up and showing out here lately. I want to say I appreciate Ratchet Gang, but if you want to support, send a super chat, super sticker, Cash App, $Ratchet TV. If not, if you just want to support by hitting the like button, all you gotta do is double tap your screen and vote on that poll right there in the chat. It should be at the bottom of the chat. Vote on that poll at the bottom of the chat. Also, double tap your screen and just like the video. So, I've been talking to a few people behind the scenes, and they came out with a suspect today. This just... I'm gonna just be real with y'all, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on no more. I don't know what I believe no more. I don't know nothing. I have no... I'm just so at a loss for words for all of the shit that just transpiring over the past... just over the past few years, once you start covering stuff like this, and I think once y'all start watching people that cover stuff like this, or you might cover it on your own or do your own research. I don't know. I'm just saying, a lot of people who watch me or watch people like me end up opening their eyes and they're like, hold on, man, like I never thought about this stuff. This is crazy work. And you start to see everything ain't what it appears, man. So there's something very eerie. There's something very eerie going on when it comes to the Charlie Kirk situation. There's something very eerie. And I listened back to it live. I did say Christian Kirk last night. Look, y'all, I told y'all, I keep getting it confused because ever since I heard this case, I just kept thinking Christian Kirk is a football player. I don't know why the hell I just kept saying Christian Kirk in my head. So if I say it again tonight, I apologize. But Charlie Kirk, there's just some backdoor shit that happened here, man. And something just don't seem right about the suspect they picked up and the family. And this just seems very odd. Like, nah. Where the fuck did that dude get a sniper rifle? And I just don't see that dude just being laying up on the roof and doing. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. This is another Luigi Mangione situation. This is another one of those Luigi situations, and I just don't know I don't know what's going on no more. I have no idea. And the crazy thing about it is, can anybody in this chat tell me how many hours was he free until they captured him? Can anybody tell me in the chat how many hours was he free before they captured him? Salute to Christy Reed for that $20. I appreciate you, Christy Reed. Salute, salute, salute. Also, I appreciate you, Jules Love, for that 2-piece. Salute to Jules Love. I appreciate you. Salute, salute, salute. There you go. 33 hours. They playing right in our face, man. Allegedly. Allegedly. And everything I say is alleged. And it's all under the Fair Use Act. And you can see the Fair Use disclaimer in the description of this video and in the description of all my videos. This is just for entertainment and educational purposes only. This is just to educate my people on what we've been covering over here. Like I said, it's all under the Fair Use Act. And you can see the Fair Use disclaimer in the description of this video. And everything I say is alleged. Allegedly. Salute to Indie Girl. I appreciate you, Indie Girl, for that $20. Say salute, King. Salute right back to you. I appreciate you. Salute, salute, salute. Hey, y'all showing up and showing out tonight. Let's get it. So yeah, we're gonna be here for a while tonight again. It's gonna be like another 3-hour live. So hopefully y'all are ready. Get your popcorn ready. Get your snacks. Get dinner out the oven and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just get your drink. Get your little. You know what I'm saying? You want to puff on something? Hey, get it ready right now because we gonna be here, and I don't know how this is going to turn out. This is just, I want y'all to vote on that poll in the chat. I did a poll. We got 226 votes on it. I said, is this Charlie Kirk situation a cover-up? The options are yes, they took him out on purpose, or nope, just a crazy person. It's over. You think this is just the end of the case? They picked up the crazy guy. That was the dude who did everything. He planned it out. Do you think this dude acted alone? What are you guys thinking in the chat? We're going to cover a couple of different angles and we're going to go deep like we did last night. And this is going to get spooky. I want y'all to pay attention to the message. We kind of covered the Israel aspect tonight. Tonight we're going to go in and cover it another way. We're going to be all over the place. And I just want y'all to stick with this content and understand that everything is not what it seems. Okay? Understand that everything is not what it seems. So everybody get the likes up in the chat, double tap your screen. Everybody go ahead and vote on that poll. And we about to get ready to get started in just a minute. But I want to know before we do get started, what are you guys' thoughts on it so far? We watched it last night. I'm not saying that we was on point. I'm not saying we wasn't on point. But what do you think about the angles that we kind of covered? And then to wake up the next morning and to see that, oh shit, now they got the dude and the dude's families then turned him in, and he confessed to the family that he did this, and now this dude is going down. I I don't know. How did he get away? I still think that this was this is on some militant shit. They say it's a setup. Do y'all believe that he did it? Malcolm, what the hell is you talking about? Are we allowed to do a review on your content? Of course. Just hit me up on Instagram. Just hit me up on Instagram. I got you. Yeah, you definitely can go back and I always encourage people to use my content for, you know what I'm saying, educational research purposes. You know, as long as you ain't dissing me in the content, we good. They said no, he did do it. They said no, he did do it. He don't look like a marksman. Man, the accuracy in which I'm just gonna stick to what I believe. There is just the average person ain't pulling off a shot like that, bro. First hit, and that little motherfucker just he ain't built like that, bro. I'm sorry. I could look a killer right in the eyes and tell, like, yeah, that motherfucker, it's a dangerous. That's a puppy. That's puppy child. That dude is soft. He ain't built to get. He's not built like that, bro. I'm not saying that someone just can't get on a roof and do some shit. I just don't. I don't look at him and see that. I mean, I could be totally wrong, and he could have did this, and hey, it just is what it is. I could be completely wrong. I just don't see it, bro. Like that, the way in which the person was on that roof laying flat in that sniper position, like this is someone who sniped before. I don't think this kid was a sniper. I just don't see this kid being a sniper, a marksman, a clear shot. I'm talking about one of the coldest shots. That shot was a cold-blooded shot. And if you know anything about a sniper, if you were aiming at the chest, or it depends on where you were aiming at and the position you were in, you probably were aiming right for his, right here in that heart region. And then as soon as you cracked his neck, you know what I'm saying? But that was a trained shooter. That to me that was when you go back and watch that, and even some people have even went to say the manner in which his body moved to the left and the way they say he got hit, it don't add up, because they saying he could have possibly gotten hit from behind. The way his body moved to the left, and not because if you get hit to the right, your body ain't gonna move to the right. That's a sniper, bro. If you get hit right there to the right or to the left, you're gonna move if someone punches you with their right hand, hits you with a hook, you're gonna go off to the left because you got hit right here. You're gonna go that way. You understand what I'm saying? If someone punches you, you're not gonna go the direction they're hitting you in and fall. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna fall the opposite way. So yeah, I don't know, man. There's just something that does not add up. Something to me just does not add up. So y'all tell me what y'all think in the chats, man. He hit a main artery, his neck. Man, that dude took him out with a cold-blooded shot. I'm telling you, that's the basic law of physics. Exactly. I'm not dumb. You can't they want to just control a narrative by, look, man, I'm just starting to think everybody is in on all this shit. I'm just going to be real. I'm starting to think that everybody is on one accord, and this is all just a smoke screen. DJ Smoke One, thank you for that membership. Salute, salute, salute. I'm thinking that everybody is in on all this shit, and they all kind of just running plays. They fake beefing. I mean, people are just getting sacra. You know what I'm saying? You can finish that. It's just certain sacrifices have to be made, and hey, It's a cold world. Somebody got to go. I don't know, man. I'm starting to think everybody is in on this shit. Did y'all see the big guy in the big White House? Did you see his response? Something just doesn't seem right. I'm questioning everything right now. I'm telling you, I'm questioning everything, and I'm questioning everybody. I don't trust nobody. So let me get ready to get this. Let me get ready to get my stuff ready, man. Where do I want to start at? We can start right here. We can start right here. All right, y'all ready to start this show? Let me know in the chat. Y'all ready to start this show, man? If y'all ready to start this show? Drop the gems in the chat right now, man. All right, let's go. Man. All right, let's get it, y'all. All right, so my bad. Let me get my mic over here. All right, so let's go ahead and let's start this damn show, man. We got a lot to talk about. Let's chop it. Let's start right here. Candace Owens breaks down over the death of Charlie Kirk. We were brother and sister. He was my best friend. He didn't deserve that ending. Oh, hold on, my bad.
It was real. We were brother and sister. You know, we were fortified. Our relationship was forged in fire, the fire of politics. I knew him. I knew Charlie, the real Charlie. And Charlie knew the real Candace, you know. I think in the end, Charlie was going through a spiritual transformation. I don't think it, I know it. He was going through a lot, and there was a lot of pressure. And it's hard for me to watch the people who were pressuring him, I don't know, just say the things that they're saying. You know, there's something about it that just feels really fake to me. And they would have allowed him to lose and wanted him to lose everything for changing or even slightly modifying an opinion. And then to see them doing what they're doing today, it's hurtful to me.
She's talking about his stance. His stance, this is what I believe. I believe Charlie Kirk was getting closer to God. Salute to Angie for that 5-piece. Says nothing but love for you, Ratchet RG4L. Salute, I appreciate you. Salute. I think that he was going through a transformation as well. I don't think she's capping about that. I think she's right on, because it seemed like he was waking up. It seems like he was, you know how you gotta, okay, to get on these big networks, you kind of got to go by codes. That's like if I was going to be a part of ESPN and they was going to bring Ratchet TV on ESPN like once in a blue moon, once a week, once a month or whatever. They would basically tell me like some of the stuff you're talking about on your YouTube channel could affect us. So you kind of want to, you know, it's politics, right? I can't get on YouTube acting a certain way and then still work for ESPN and cut them checks by ESPN. So he's on a lot of major platforms and he's spilling out a lot of stuff when he's on his own shit. So he's going on his own and he's saying some of the wildest stuff about these people. But then when he gets in front of the people that got the bigger crowds, he's basically letting everybody know, like, I'm handicapped, bro. I can't really say what I want to say. And then he goes on his own platform and just, or he'll just sit on their platform and start blasting their ass, and he'll just start saying stuff about Jerusalem, and he didn't fuck with a lot of stuff over there. Then as soon as he died, they come out and say, oh yeah, he was coming down here. We invited him out here and everything. Man, see, a lot of people starting to move real weird, y'all. Let's continue.
It's very hurtful to me, but I don't want today to be about anything other than you guys knowing that Charlie really was an amazing person. You know, he was like, we were really close, and he was my best friend and my brother, and I will never unsee the footage of what I saw, the violence of it. I pray for the people who took any pleasure in that. I would never, there's not a single person in the world that I would wish that on. And least of all, someone with a heart like Charlie's. He loved his family, he loved his wife, he loved his country, and he didn't deserve that ending. You know, he's really young. But I know that we will carry the torch. I will never allow the memory of Charlie to be forgotten, obviously, because there is no Candace without Charlie. You know, we came up in politics together. And so I don't know what else to say, guys, other than I'm in a lot of pain right now. And I love you, Charlie, and I'll see you when I'll see you. I love you very much. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
So that was Candace Owens breaking her silence on this situation. Man. So let's continue, man. Let's continue. Hold on. Let's get to the next one.
This is why they killed Charlie Kirk. When I saw the video, I felt so bad. I almost instantly started crying. It ruined my day. And instantly I felt angry. How could they do this? Who did this? And I started blaming the left. And I started thinking to myself, I'm like, all these motherfuckers. And it clicked in my head. And I said, that's exactly why they killed him. They killed him exactly for that reason. So you and your neighbor start to hate each other. So the left hates the right hates the left. But that's exactly the fucking problem. You see, strong nations fall apart, not from the outside. Rome didn't fall from the barbarians. They fell because they were divided on the inside. If you divide and conquer, somehow, some way, there has been an enemy that has infiltrated our government, that has infiltrated the US, and they are brainwashing people to be divided. It's under unity that America is unstoppable. But when we are divided, we are weak. And right now is not the time to be weak. When we become weak, symbols like what happened yesterday go in vain. When he died, it cannot be in vain. If you hate your neighbor, and Charlie didn't hate anybody, if you hate your neighbor, this was in vain. Do not let this go in vain. Show people love. Share this message. Let people come together in this time, not continue to hate one another. Share it because we need to be united now more than ever. This is why they killed.
What do y'all think about that message? I agree with that. This was a plan. Everyone's going against each other right now. And it's exactly what they wanted. As soon as he's gone, everybody started hating each other. You start seeing people fighting. The left saying, oh man, the right got to go. The right saying, man, it's the left got to go. And everyone's mad at everybody. Everyone is scrambling and scraping mad at each other. And that's exactly what they wanted. This ain't what Charlie wanted. He had a difference of opinion just like everybody else. Charlie said a lot of stuff I don't agree with. I'm not going to sit up here and say like, oh yeah, he was right about everything. But I think the same of him. I think of Charleston White. I think they both said a lot of stuff that I don't agree with, but I understand the message. I understand exactly what he's saying. He's being very rage baiting, and he's rage baiting, and I see what he's doing. He likes to rile people up. This is what he does, or did. This is what he did. R.I.P. to Charlie. This is what he did. But I see the method in behind the madness. Him saying this about when black people get mad. He's saying different. It's a difference of opinions. He's going about it. He's saying it the wrong way. Or I would say I don't like the verbiage, but I understand what he's saying. Because we say it about ourselves all the time. Our community do got to get cleaned up. The daddies do got to be around. Our culture is fucked up. We say it all the time. So just because he's saying it or he said it, we're looking at him. Oh man, he's racist. I don't believe he was racist. I just think that he definitely was just tired of BS, and I'm tired of it. I get sick of my own damn community, and I say the same. I don't want to live around hell. Hell no. Does that make me racist of my own people? Hell no. It just makes me. I'm woke. I don't got time to see all the our culture, women in their 40s shaking their booty in the club, half naked on the internet, got 20, 30-year-old kids. This is the shit he's talking about. This bullshit that we're like, what are you doing? You don't see a bunch of other cultures, mamas twerking on cars and in the club loose at 40. You don't see that shit. It's just our culture. A lot of the shit that goes on in our culture, I agree with him a lot on a lot of the stuff he said. Do I like what he said, how he worded it? No. I don't like some of the stuff that he said. I think that some of the stuff could come off as racist to someone who just doesn't understand and to someone who's ignorant. But I understood Charlie. So let's continue, man.
That stuff happens.
And I want y'all to listen to this. I want y'all to listen to this. Say what Utah Governor Spencer Cox says. He wishes the person who shot and unalived conservative activist Charlie Kirk had come from another country. Now, listen, I want y'all to listen to what this man is going to say.
For 33 hours.
They searched for 33 hours. He made it a point to say for 33 hours. Remember that number 33.
I was praying that if this had to happen here,
I was praying that if this had to happen here,
it wouldn't be one of us.
It wouldn't be one of us.
Somebody drove from another state. Somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered.
Sadly, my prayers were not answered. I was praying that whoever did this come from another state or another country, and my prayers were not answered. That's exactly what that man just said.
I hoped for, just because I thought it would make it easier on us.
I thought it would make it easier on us.
We could just say, hey, we don't do that here.
If we could just say, hey, we don't do that here.
And indeed, Utah is a special place. We lead the nation in charitable giving. We lead the nation in service every year. But it did happen here.
Did y'all hear that shit? That man just said, I was praying that it came from another country. I just wish it just came from another country. I wish it didn't happen here. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to this shit. And this is just music playing, so I don't need the audio for this. But if you pay attention to all this ish, it was going on right here, all this shit. Man. It was a lot going on right around it. It was a lot going on, man. And you watch this ish right here. And watch this. Now that's the dude who is just right there behind him. Now look at this. FBI, right? 20 years in the FBI. Schaefer Security Group. That's the security company that was there. And look. Man. Yeah, that was them people, dog. They was right there. All of them was right there. Look at this. They was all right there. Look. It's all connected. Look, right there. What institute? I'm telling y'all where I can't talk too much, but I'm telling y'all where this came from, man. Just look at this. Look at all this shit this security company is connected to. These people who was out there with him. Look what they connected to. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Look at this shit, y'all. Man. So what do y'all think about that, man? Yeah, this is all a big connection. I'm telling y'all.
Why they took out Charlie Kirk.
Maybe we should also ask a question. Is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says, because I know I've been conditioned to ask a lot more critical questions over the last couple of years.
Now pay very close attention. This was the signaler making the signal to kill Charlie Kirk.
There have been in America over the last 10 years, counting or not counting gang violence.
Man. So y'all see, these people's all connected.
I think the DOJ should immediately move to unseal all the Epstein documents in the Southern District of New York.
Yeah. Everything.
And
Everything
I think every file should be released to the public the same way as the JFK files. Do you think there's any intel community involvement in this?
I wouldn't be surprised one bit. I am convinced, based on my own sources and my own reporting on this story, he wasn't one of ours.
So he was an American, which leads basically three options: MI6, Saudi, or Mossad.
Yep.
Which one would you choose?
I guess Mossad, given his connection to Ghislaine Maxwell.
So what does that mean?
Well, I mean, it's possible that that's the reason everything's getting buried. That there is some treasure trove, and it's getting buried because...
How many people here believe that? Raise your hand. Okay, I'd say about half the hands think that it's being buried because of an Israeli thing.
It could be. I really don't know.
I have no evidence to suggest that.
No, me neither.
I think the DOJ.
Yeah, you see this? He was exposing so much before he died, man. Now look at this. Why is he tampering with the evidence? Now, if you see this right here, watch this. And as soon as he was on the ground, watch what they was doing. Look at this. They look at this. What is he doing? What is he doing right there? Look at this. Why is he put that there? He grabbed something, put it there. The dude just went there. What are you doing? You should be looking at him, not the equipment and stuff. What is you doing?
Charlie Kirk got hit. What the security details just said.
Yeah, y'all see that? Man. You can't make this stuff up. And he just took it. Look, it's gone now. He took it. They got what they was looking for. They got all the answers they was looking for over there.
For everybody saying the Charlie Kirk assassination was a psyop, you guys might be right. If you look at this video with Trump on Charlie Kirk's YouTube channel, the title is Enough is Enough there at that bottom left. This is very important. Remember that. Enough is enough. Now, if you look up on YouTube, Illuminati card number 345, these were made in the 90s. This was posted 12 years ago, though. Take you up for a closer look. Go ahead and read that card there. It says, at any time, at any place, our snipers can drop you. Have a nice day. Not to mention, enough is enough, and that face, y'all know what that face looks like. I feel like the whole story is not being told. We will probably never know the whole story, obviously. But if y'all got any ideas, let me know.
What y'all think about that, man? It's about to get real wicked out here. So let's get to this damn show, man. It's about to get real wicked out here, gang. So, where do I want to start at? I want to start here.
Our special breaking news coverage continues right now.
No. Oh, yeah. That is it. That is it, I think. Let's see.
Rob.
It's no.
Father of two.
That ain't what I want. Hold on, give me a second, y'all. Where's the video I'm looking for? Where is the one I'm looking for? Man. No.
Come up to the mic.
Damn it, where's the video I'm looking for?
I just tracked it.
Okay, I think it's up here somewhere. It's gotta be up here. That's the wife. Okay, so it is over here. My bad, y'all. I don't got my shit in order.
Office with information.
All right, boom, here we go. Boom, this is what I'm looking for. All right, so right here, I want y'all to pay attention. Did y'all see this press conference today? Tell me in the chat, did y'all see this press conference today? If you saw this press conference, drop the gems. If you did not see this press conference, drop the eyeballs. If you've already seen this, drop the gems right now. If you have not seen it, drop the eyeballs. Tactical Dish Soap says, this whole thing reeks the Vegas shooting. Charlie was very influential, and it wasn't their best option to let him ask too many questions before midterms for the... Yeah. Okay, I got you. You're right. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate you. So let's go ahead and watch this right now, y'all. Let's go ahead and watch this.
That Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance.
He seems nervous as hell too. Is it just me, or does this dude seem pretty damn nervous?
And identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years.
And they're talking about Tyler Robinson. Tyler Robinson was the guy who they are saying unalived. Have you guys seen the suspect yet? His name is Tyler Robinson. They're saying he is the guy who unalived Charlie Kirk. Now, this is him. right here. Let me show y'all real quick. This is him right here. This is the dude right here. They're saying did it. They're saying this is the dude named Tyler Robinson, and he was Donald Trump for Halloween last year. He was Donald Trump for Halloween, and this is Charlie. And remember that picture that I put out. I mean, I said Charlie. This is Tyler Robinson. He's the one who took out Charlie allegedly. And that's the picture that I put out yesterday when they said they were looking for somebody, and they gave that grainy one. And I said, look, a little bit of editing, boom, there you go. And does that look like the same dude I dropped yesterday? Does that look like the same dude that I dropped yesterday? Man. So you remember, I came out yesterday and told y'all when I dropped this picture right here, I said a little editing, and here's an updated picture of Charlie Kirk's shooter. That was yesterday. They come out today with this dude. Crazy work, right? Crazy work, man. So let's continue, man. Let's get back over here and continue this, man. Let's continue this damn press conference. I just want to give y'all an update on who they're talking about. They're talking about Tyler Robinson. They're saying this is the dude who took out Charlie Kirk. Do y'all believe that in the chat?
The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in that conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate.
So Robinson's roommate says he confessed on Discord. Bro, what in the hell is going on? Do y'all... It's just like they just really throw a story out there and just won't. I don't believe this shit. I'm gonna be real. So you telling me this dude got away with unaliving someone at a political high figure person who's considered one of our future president, got away with it, went home and confessed on Discord. Man.
These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there's been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well, and I'll share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel.
So he went home on Discord, told everybody, yo, I got a high-powered rifle. It had a cool scope on it, and it had some cool features. And guess what, guys? I wrapped it in a towel. You know what I did? I wrapped it in a towel and left it in the woods. I got away, but I just left the gun out there in the woods. And then, oh man, they go find a high-powered rifle with a cool scope and all these crazy features in the woods. Oh, guess what it was? Guess what, guys? It was wrapped in a fucking towel. What are the odds? What are the odds that this happens, y'all? Do y'all really believe this story they telling?
The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle.
Salute Miss Rocca for that $5.
Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices bulges, capital OWO, what's this, question mark."
And this is what he says. He's writing on the bullets, guys. Notice bulges. This is what he's writing on the bullet casings. What in the what is going on, bro? I mean, they just right, Miss Rocket. They think we dumb. They said so. He wrote. Not only did he leave the high-powered rifle in the woods wrapped in a towel, he literally wrote on the bullet casings, "Notice bulges."
Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" exclamation point, "Catch!" exclamation point.
So now he's telling him to catch. He was hunting this man down. He was hunting Charlie down, they want us to believe.
Up arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols.
Yeah, we got too many people in here to be only at 500 likes, y'all. Come on, man. We got 2,100 votes. Double tap your screen. Everybody double tap your screen and like this video. Let's get it to 1,000 likes right now. Let's go.
A second unfired casing read, "Oh, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow." And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who's worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person and to bring justice. I want to thank the public who has been so engaged, reviewing videos, helping us with sending in tips, and helping us get to this point. I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case and were able to bring him into to law enforcement as well. I especially want to thank the family of Charlie Kirk, Erica, Charlie's parents, his children. I want us to be thinking of them as we bring justice in this case. They will be involved in that justice. We will be working very closely with them as we move through this process as well. This is a very sad day for our country, a terrible day for the state of Utah, but I'm grateful that at this moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter in our nation's history. With that, I will now turn the microphone over to the director of the FBI, Kash Patel.
What do y'all think about this? What are y'all thinking about this? Do y'all think that this is a cover-up, or what are y'all thinking right now?
This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory. I want to express my deep gratitude to President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days. Our partnership will endure. Your state and local partners, your sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. And a case like this cannot be solved, cannot be brought without partnering with your state and local authorities. The FBI has a certain role to play. We will play that role, and we will lead out for the federal government. But Governor Cox, we are so grateful for your state partnership that led out on this investigation. A little bit of the timeline.
Yeah, they're about to give the timeline. Listen to the timeline, guys. Get the likes up. Double tap that screen.
Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday.
Listen to
the first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes.
Listen to the numbers.
Of police at 12:39 and secured the scene. The FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets
We utilize these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilize these assets to go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11. The governor led a press conference last night at approximately 8 p.m. where at my direction, the FBI released a never-before-seen video of the suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise.
In less than 36 hours? Who says, like, he said in less than 36 hours. 33 to be exact. They playing with these numbers right in front of our face. 3633. Come on, fam. They couldn't make it any more obvious. Jelly Bean, thank you for the $10. I appreciate you. Salute, salute, salute. Josh Carver, thank you for the 5. And Warrior Gaming, thank you for the $5. Salute to y'all. But they playing with these numbers right in front of our face. It was in less than 36 hours, guys. 33 to be exact.
To the full weight of the federal government and leading up with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, processed that crime scene quickly. And I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we need to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver it to Governor Cox and his team. Last night, we had a total of approximately 7,000 leads. As of this morning, thanks to your great work, we have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI. And we are running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out.
11,000 leads, 7,000 leads. They're telling you everything you need with the numbers.
The arrest is a testament to dedication of good law enforcement being great and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake field office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation, and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI. This is a very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said, and we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions, and we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime. Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Thank you, and good morning. I would just like to take a few minutes as the sheriff to express my gratitude for everybody who has played a part in this investigation. As you know, it's been a vast, a complicated, and a very, very fast-paced investigation.
So right there, you see these motherfuckers playing. They really just did that press conference to go over all the numbers. They really just want to go over all the numbers with everybody.
Our special breaking news coverage continues right now here on CBS News 24/7. I'm Errol Barnett in New York. Moments ago, the FBI announced the gunman accused of assassinating activist Charlie Kirk is now in custody, and he's been identified as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, who was turned in part thanks to cooperation from his family. This morning's press update began a short time ago with remarks from Utah's Governor Spencer Cox.
We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes.
So right there, we just went over this press conference, and it's kind of crazy that, I don't know, man. Something about everybody's statements just seems disingenuous. It just seems, to me, everybody's playing. Everybody's putting on a facade. Everybody's putting on a poker face, and everyone's playing. To me, everybody playing in our face.
Special VR technology to help spell out for you what investigators then explained happened next after Tyler Robinson arrived on campus in that clothing. Investigators believe that below me, where you see the distance, about 400 feet between where Tyler Robinson was believed to be on the rooftop and where Charlie Kirk was holding his event, convincing students to prove him wrong. Investigators said a few moments ago that it was up here on the rooftop of this building where Tyler Robinson then changed out of that plain maroon shirt and light-colored shorts into the black clothing that he was witnessed wearing. After firing the shot, he then crossed across the rooftop, which you see in this footage, with a bag, jumped down to the grassy area near the parking lot, and then proceeded to cross a road nearby and head into a wooded area. All of this.
And you're telling me a little 22-year-old like that? You telling me this dude strategically pulled this off? He did this.
Suggesting prior thought, strategy, and planning before the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Investigators also say that people close to him, his friends and his family, had said that he had become more radicalized and political lately, and talked to them about Charlie Kirk coming to campus, and that in his opinion, in the opinions of this suspect, Charlie Kirk was full of hate. So that footage was recorded just to my left.
So he's telling everybody Charlie Kirk is full of hate. He wants him out of here, and he just been acting radical and just got into politics. Don't nobody who just get into politics want to grab a strap and just take somebody out for the first time in their life and get on a roof and strategically mark somebody down. The average person ain't moving like that, man. What is they talking about? Salute Binky for the $5. I appreciate you, Binky. Salute to Positive Q for the $10. I appreciate y'all.
CBS News Justice correspondent Scott McFarland joins us from Washington with more on how we're now getting a fuller picture, Scott, of the intent of this individual, how he was able to pull this off. But investigators also said they do not believe there are any other suspects or people of interest at this time. What jumped out to you?
The governor described this as somebody who had become radicalized or politicized in recent weeks or recent months, and that the family was noticing that, but that it also was the family that got the confession from Tyler Robinson, brought it to clergy, brought it to law enforcement, and ultimately resulted in Tyler Robinson being arrested and jailed in Washington County, Utah. Washington County, Utah, roughly 3 or 4 hours away from Utah Valley University. Tyler Robinson now is being held as a local inmate, but federal charges are imminent. If not today, I'd expect charging documents, criminal information filed over the weekend, Monday morning at the latest. And there'll be a procedure for Tyler Robinson to make a preliminary appearance in court, potentially in both local court and federal court. 2 different cases are brought. And what the governor described is just this series of granular pieces of evidence that would likely be presented to a judge at a detention hearing. The inscriptions, the engravings on the bullet casings, including the words "catch fascist" and "Bella Ciao," a message famous in Italy during World War II, during their fight against the Nazis. The 11,000 tips brought in by the feds may include something specific for prosecutors to use, but they have this information about the firearm because they have the firearm, this unique rifle with a scope on top, the bullet casings being distinguishing. And Errol, I think it's worth a conversation that these bullet casing engravings, these inscriptions, they are becoming a potential source of copycats. We've seen them in other cases in recent months, and there's fears we see them again in future shootings.
Well, the governor and other officials from the FBI spoke about a heightened sense of fear in the United States because of what seemed to be ongoing acts of political violence against people on the right and the left. How important will it be in the investigation?
But they're saying, yeah, see, somebody just sent me something saying it don't add up when they saying he was changing clothes. He had the same thing on right before he shot him. When they seen him, they got video of him already. So when did he change clothes to this red thing? He was wearing the same thing right before he shot him. So none of this shit adding up to me.
Into this, that investigators are careful of what to release and also to tamp down the pressure of political rhetoric in the U.S. in the days ahead.
The governor spent a lot of his time, even before taking questions at the news conference this hour, trying to do just that with an extended message of we have a pivotal moment now, a potential off-ramp, or we continue down this road of increased political toxicity, increased political violence, and increased death. He used the phrase social media is a cancer. He emphasized those words, that social media is spinning up so much of this hatred that there may be foreign players involved, ginning up Americans through social media channels, which is a bit of a contradiction, though, in this case, because federal law enforcement, the FBI director himself, was using social media as the singular platform to provide updates on this case prior to that.
Does that look like the same person to y'all? And all the high-tech cameras they got in this place that I'm going to prove that they have, why did they come out with grainy-ass footage like this? Now, all that equipment that's in this damn facility, and I'm going to show y'all what kind of cameras they really got. Does that look like the same person that they arrested? Is that the same person they just arrested?
Tonight. So there's a contradiction there in what social media should be doing with cases like this. But the FBI director, you heard from him today at the news conference, he credited law enforcement with being expedient in this case, moving in his words, I think record time, he said. A 33-hour manhunt is not shorter or longer than any other previous manhunts, but it did result in an arrest in a case that captured the attention of the world.
An important time, especially when you consider how much misinformation was available online as it relates to this horrific incident. To be diligent, be extremely diligent of what you consume and share. Scott McFarlane at our DC Bureau, thank you very much. We want to share with you the first person to break this news, President Trump, this morning at approximately 8 a.m. Eastern as he was appearing on Fox and Friends.
With a high
Now pay attention to this, gang.
degree of certainty, we have him. We're in custody, okay? In custody, everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor, everybody did a great job.
CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand is at the White House. Natalie, as we've been speaking this morning, you've noted that the president gave as much detail as he could while appearing on that program. He was also the first person to release information that Charlie Kirk had, in fact, died. What stood out to you from the president's remarks and actions this morning?
What do y'all think about the president's remarks and how he's been acting? What are y'all thinking right now?
Yeah, Errol, it speaks to the investment, the personal investment the president had in this case, the closeness, the friendship he had with Charlie Kirk. He's been shaken all week. We've heard that and seen that visibly since this political assassination, and the president pledging to commit federal resources to finding whoever was responsible. This is an assassination, a crime, horrific incident that has shaken this White House and the nation, given the closeness of this relationship. The president this morning on Fox describing Kirk like almost a member of his family. He had a direct line to President Trump as a close advisor, friend, and ally. That's something that started on the campaign trail. Kirk gets a lot of credit for really mobilizing young conservative voters and helping to cement President Trump's second term win. He also had an extremely close relationship with the vice president.
So he was one of the people that really helped Trump get their win. Notice why a lot of people would want him up out the way. He was very, very close with Trump. Very close.
J.D. Vance, so much so that J.D. Vance canceled plans yesterday to appear at a remembrance for 9/11 at Ground Zero and instead fly to Salt Lake City and retrieve Kirk's body. In light of this breaking development today, he posted on social media, "This is a big breakthrough, and everyone who helped, from the law enforcement professionals to the people giving tips, deserves our credit and gratitude. In some ways, the investigation is still in the early days, but I do believe we have the shooter in custody." He goes on to say a prayer for Erica Kirk and those two beautiful babies. Of course, Kirk leaves behind a wife and two young children. Vance spent time with them yesterday when he traveled from Utah to Arizona on Air Force Two. Kirk is from Arizona. That is where he will be laid to rest. And the president also confirming that he will be attending his funeral.
Natalie Brand with the latest at the White House for us. Natalie, thank you.
That's going to be a heavily guarded funeral, you gotta believe.
We want to jump over now and bring in CBS News congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey Burns, who is in our D.C. bureau. Caitlin, President Trump said he wants Tyler Robinson, this 22-year-old, to get the death penalty. President Trump also saying that he does plan to attend the funeral of Charlie Kirk, who, as Natalie just laid out, wasn't just a key political figure for Republicans, but also, father of two, a husband whose family is deep in grief today. How is this hitting Washington?
Well, Errol, it's important to note that, too, his proximity to the president. He was thought of as a family member to this president, and we've heard so many stories about that. But, Errol, I wanted to highlight what we just heard from the governor of Utah there, Spencer Cox, because I can tell you that we've been on Capitol Hill the past several days talking to lawmakers about what should be the response, how can you tone down the rhetoric, and we really haven't seen many leaders rise to this occasion. And we did see Governor Cox provide an example of some much needed leadership there. He delivered the facts of the case. He grieved this tragedy and recognized that grief, and also called upon our better angels. And I just want to read a quote from what he said today. This is an attack on all of us, an attack on the American experiment, an attack on our ideals. This cuts to the very foundation of who we are, who we have been, and who we could be. And Errol, he offered a bit of advice that I think all of us can take, should take, which is log off, go touch grass, hug a family member. And I think that is what so many, not only in Washington, are feeling, but across the country, people who have felt so connected to this person, either from social media, from a public perspective, or didn't have any connection to him at all, and are just grieving a horrific shooting at a time that it just feels like this happens too often and shouldn't happen again. And I think the governor really spoke to a range of emotions that people are feeling across this country as a family has lost a father, has lost a husband, a son, And I think the governor is someone to watch as we move forward in the lack of real politics kind of taking hold here. He noted that there is an off-ramp if we choose to take it. It's a choice.
Caitlin, it's a great point. The governor's saying that he believes this is a turning point in the United States, but the reality of that is up to Americans to decide. Caitlin Huey-Burns, my thanks to you and to Scott McFarlane and Natalie Brand for our continuing breaking news coverage. On the news now that 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, accused of assassinating conservative activist Charlie Kirk, now in custody.
So what do y'all think about that, man? That's the update from the main media, but we don't really fuck with them. We don't really fuck with them at all. Let's continue.
So I want to talk a little bit about Charlie Kirk and kind of just the bigger picture here. I'm always the first one to go down these conspiracy rabbit holes, and when this first happened, the first thought that came to my head as soon as I got that text message was, please God, do not let this be one of us. And by one of us, I mean somebody who's been speaking out against Israel, the genocide, and the Jewish power, Jewish supremacy in our country. Because if they did, if it was one of us, let's just say, we would have bipartisan politicians from both sides of the aisle labeling anything that posts on social media whatsoever have anything to do with Jews as hate speech, and we would have all been losing our accounts by tomorrow morning. And I said, well, if it's a tranny, at least then Charlie's going to go down as a martyr, and we're going to ban trans.
So again, people are speaking out on behalf of, look, everybody got an opinion. So we're gonna listen to every part of this. Of everyone speaking out, no matter what side of the fence you're on. Hey, we're just covering the story.
Genderism in America. So Israel was literally, it wasn't the last thought, but it wasn't a thought that was even crossing my mind. And I didn't even want to go down that rabbit hole because I didn't want Alex Jones Sandy hook the moment. So things started to get weirder. First, all of a sudden, we see this ring thing that was kind of funny. It looked like the ring changed fingers. Then we realized Charlie has one of these they're called hinge rings. So he plays with them while he's talking, and he was playing with it while he was talking, and it just happened to be, the latch probably popped off and the ring skipped fingers. Now, all of a sudden, our government hasn't found the shooter. And there was a perfect patsy that magically, all of a sudden, the cops carried this guy out, and everybody's like, oh, we got the shooter. So instead of creating a perimeter for whatever amount of time it took for the killer to get away or the assassin to get away, they had the perfect cover for it. Then you start looking at who Charlie Kirk was as in the political arena. He was more powerful. He built an organization more powerful than the RNC. Charlie Kirk and TPUSA literally replaced the RNC and took down the RNC. We've had this uniparty system here, and nobody's been able to break through, but Charlie Kirk broke through. And when it comes to winning the hearts and minds of the masses, the younger generation, I don't think that there was anybody that had a bigger, more powerful voice, love him or hate him, than Charlie Kirk. And I think Charlie Kirk was actually a good guy. I really, really do. Now, the more you start to see what he was getting ready to expose, and that's Israel, and starting to speak out about the control that Israel has, our inability to speak out against Israel. And then inside sources telling us that he thought that if he were to turn on Israel, Israel was going to kill him. That's a guy from the inside. That's a guy who knows something, probably a lot of things that we don't know. That's a guy who's in rooms with politicians. He has the inside ear of almost every big thing. I mean, Donald Trump calls him and is like, hey, Charlie, I need you guys to lay off the Epstein stuff. And Charlie Kirk's like, all right, Trump, out of our respect for you, yeah, I'm going to trust that this administration's doing the right thing.
So boom, right there you see, they're saying, look, the big guy could have called him and be like, hey, man, you got to lay off this. Because if you remember, Donald, he used to be like, hey, we're exposing these files. They're coming out. Then all of a sudden, he came out a month ago, and he was like, no, these files don't even exist. So it's kind of like now him and Charlie got to disconnect because Donald came out and said, look, they don't even exist. This was all made up by Obama. And we're like, wait, what? He's like, no, this is all made up. The whole thing is a hoax. It's gone. They're never coming out. It's done. And then Charlie kind of stood on his stance like, no. Y'all need to release this. Bring them out. After he already said, look, I'm done talking about it. I'm not going to be talking about it no more. I'm easing up off of it. And all of a sudden, he's back talking about these files again. And he's back talking about Israel again. And boom, he's out of here.
And then 2 months later, no accountability, no new evidence, no new leads, no new names. Charlie Kirk starts going on podcasts and calling out the fact that that Epstein was a Mossad agent. Then he started talking about Jewish supremacy and the Jewish control. Then he really started to hit the nail on the head when he started talking about these NGOs and the open borders, all funded by Jewish organizations. Charlie was on the verge of taking the J pill, but he knew how powerful these people were, and he was afraid to speak out about it. So we literally have had what most likely looks like a assassinate who took out Charlie Kirk. They already had a flight on standby waiting. The flight takes off, turns off its transponder, and then reappears in a third world country. There's only one intelligence agency that has this power, and I swear, if they want to drive this country into a civil war, they are going to say that this was an Iranian or a Russian hit. And if they do, and if Trump takes that bait and tries to run with that narrative, you are going to start a civil war in this country. It is going to be inevitable. We're all waking up, and you're seeing countries like El Salvador, and literally every day you live in that country, every day you wake up and your life got better. It got better because you know that you're not getting taxed to death. You know that when you're building a house, you're building a home, that home's yours. You own it. You're not going to have to pay tax on it. The government's not going to be coming and getting their dirty little fingers in it. It is yours forever. And if you want to pass it down to your kid, there's no death tax. There's no inheritance tax. And it's a hard concept, I think, as Americans, for us really to swallow and go, wait, we're paying our government 53% of everything we make. And I want to hear shit about, I only take 30% out of my payroll. Dude, you pay a tax on your cable bill for this ETF surcharge or the EPA surcharge. That is a tax. You are getting taxed as an average 9-to-5 worker. 53% of every penny you make is being taken by our government. And the question we should be asking ourselves is, for what? What are we paying our government for? The FBI, the NSA, the CIA, they have the ability to find bin Laden in a cave in Afghanistan in the middle of nowhere. But you mean to tell me, on a college campus with 360-degree surveillance and cameras everywhere, we don't have an image of this shooter? We don't have any photos to show the press and say, hey guys, here's what you might be looking for. Here's the height, here's the build, here's the body type, here's the weapon. None of that. This dude just assassinates the most powerful political voice in this entire movement and then vanishes off the face of the earth. And we don't have a lead. We don't have any idea of who this is, what he looks like, where he's at. No cell phone pings, no nothing.
And that's the crazy part. You're telling me this is the FBI, Secret Service and all that is involved. This is a higher up. You would say Charlie Kirk was a higher up that just got assassinated and no lead. Come on, fam. If this was anybody else that was a political figure, man, you can name drop anybody in that chat. If this was them, boy, they would have surveyed. They would have, every perimeter would have, nobody would have made it up out that motherfucking place. Nobody would have made it up out of there. They would have locked everything down for miles. Nobody would have got away.
I'm not buying it, guys. And if it's Israel, we have Senator Ron Johnson, at the 9/11, like accountability or justice hearings, put on by Tucker Carlson, and also an American citizen, and redacted, who have went out of their way to demand truth and accountability. And a senator from the United States shows up basically sugarcoats and goes, well, guys, if it wasn't ISIS or there was somebody else working with ISIS and they were from another country, and I mean, that might just not be good for the global order of things. So I don't know if we're going to ever actually, the government will ever actually admit what happened. So a foreign government comes over to our fucking country and carries out a fucking mass murdering terrorist attack where thousands of American citizens were slaughtered. And the same government that won't admit that, we are now in potentially another situation where Israel was behind the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Allegedly.
And we're all going to sit here and expect this same government, who won't get justice for the thousands of Americans they slaughtered or the millions of Afghanistan citizens that they slaughtered because there were no weapons of mass destruction, because we let that warmongering, neocon, scumbag, satanic, dickhead, motherfucker Netanyahu.
I had to blank out a couple of words.
Tell us that there was weapons of mass destruction and get us into war after fucking war after war. We're fucking done. You want war, you're gonna fucking get it, America. And it's coming right here on our own gosh damn soil. Because the white men are rising up and you have pushed us to the motherfucking limit. And that's just it, plain and simple. You want war, you're gonna get fucking war if we don't get the fucking assassin who took out Charlie Kirk. And we're not taking some fucking patsy. So don't even give me this bullshit lone shooter fucking anti-Jew army veteran that you guys are gonna go drug and plant this rifle in his fucking house. And then
he's saying that this is all a play. Y'all agree with this man?
To be the Mossad agent that lives next door is gonna fucking call in a tip and go, my neighbor came running through the backyard with a fucking long rifle in the middle of the night last night.
And this is kind of what they did too. Like, hey man, look, somebody confessed to this, and he did it on Discord, and he wrapped the gun in a towel and left it in the woods.
I seen his Facebook, and he didn't like Charlie Kirk or the Jews. And then some fucking patsy is gonna go down for this, and then magically some Jew's gonna go and shoot him.
So he's saying that this is going to be some... I see exactly where he's going with it, and he might be right on the money. He might be, gang. He might be.
Come up to the mic. So now we know that you're like a blatant narcissist that needs attention at all times to cut in line.
Now, who does that look like to y'all? Who does that look like to y'all? Can anybody... Who does that look like to y'all? Let me take a close look at this, y'all, before we continue this. Take a close look at this. Now, that's definitely not Tyler. It's definitely not Tyler. That's not Tyler. But this looks like the same person that they were trying to say this was. It looks like the same person they were trying to say that was. Allegedly. Allegedly. Right? Allegedly. All right, let's get back to it. Allegedly, y'all. Allegedly. Let's get back to it.
Tell us what's so pressing that you needed to interrupt us before he could even talk.
So, let's talk about the 200 people deported without due process to El Salvador. I don't know if you saw this morning, but a United States citizen was actually deported.
It was not a U.S. citizen. That's not correct.
Liar.
It's not a U.S. citizen. It was actually...
Come on.
No, it was someone that was living here. Yeah, it was not a U.S. citizen.
Hey, this guy just fucking lies. It's not... No. Hey, no. You wanna have a debate, but you don't
It was not a U.S. citizen, first of all.
You wanna have a debate, but you actually don't debate. There's nothing more ill-faith than this.
So
No,
we already have a mic.
Name two times. Name two times where you
Show me you're losing without telling me you're losing.
What? So you're just gonna lie?
Well, first of all, it's not a U.S. citizen. He was living here for a while. He was part of MS-13. Answer yes or no.
Okay.
Should members of a terrorist organization be able to stay in the United States after they've and gone after American citizens?
Obviously, no.
So we have deported those people back to their country.
He's a liar.
So,
He can't debate, he just lies.
So let's just
What,
calm
you don't
down
like
a little
freedom
bit.
of speech?
Well, I mean, you could say whatever you want if you want to make a fool of yourself, but we do have like 10-year-olds here and 11-year-olds, so can we have some decency?
Whatever.
Okay, you don't care. You're a typical leftist because you only care about yourself,
Who said I was
not
a
about
leftist?
the other people.
Who said I was a leftist?
Well, it's very...
Who said I was a leftist? Who said I was a leftist? Who said I was a leftist?
Well, it's very clear by how you're acting.
Leftist!
He was pissed off about that statement. That pissed that man off. Oh, he wasn't trying to hear nothing. After that, he wasn't trying to hear nothing. After that, he wasn't trying to hear nothing. Man. That was the straw that broke the camel's back right there, but he wasn't trying to hear nothing after that. Who said I was a leftist? What do y'all think about that, man? What do y'all think about that? So let's get over to this.
I just tracked down the internal documents from Utah Valley University that shows the exact type of security cameras that were used, and we got a lot of questions. You're going to want to see this. This is their own internal document showing us the roof access point and exactly how the cameras were mounted at the university where Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So the first thing I want to point out, it's Utah Valley University. This is their telecommunication distribution guide of June 1st of 2022. So this is when they last were updating and installing new security cameras. So the Utah Valley University telecommunication distribution guide of June 1st of 2022. If you go through this document, it talks about how they're actually adding new cables and they're going to be adding cameras at specific areas all throughout the school. So basically, you should have at least some security footage at this school from newer camera models from at least 2022, but how many? So we want to talk about how many cameras are on these universities or college campuses. And I just kind of took an average over here so we can see St. John's University based off the amount of kids that we have at campus, based off the amount of cameras. So any time a university has roughly over 30,000 students, you're looking at least over 15, if not 1,800 cameras. And then I go, well, how about Utah? Well, Utah Valley University is one of the only ones where I couldn't get an accurate number of cameras, but they have 45,000 students. So if you have a university that has 45,000 students, you would think that you would have roughly over 2,000. But I asked Grok, and Grok for some reason says, well, 500 to 70 is the estimate, or 500 to 700, because we don't have an accurate number. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about this other campus of theirs. So this is at the Utah Valley University, the Wasatch campus. So this is going to give us an idea of how these cameras were set up, just so everybody has an idea. And I got to zoom in really quick here, so I'm just going to kind of hold the camera back here a little bit. A complete video surveillance system shall be provided. An Arlington specific system will be provided with local recordings. The CCTV system includes controls for visual monitoring of building perimeters, all building entry points, exit points at select main buildings, thoroughface, elevator lobbies, and at select sensitive interior areas. High megapixel cameras will monitor exterior areas, including the building's perimeter. Fixed megapixel cameras will monitor designated locations inside the building. Cameras will be installed in appropriately rated enclosures. Signals from the cameras will be connected to a central switching, a multiplexing system with a minimum 21-inch video monitor for viewing. All camera images will be digitally recorded by NVRs that are local area network accessible. Additionally, cameras will be capable of being monitored and controlled at remote locations via the LAN. Provide NVR with 50% spare channels. Cameras shall be fixed with 1080p HD IP cameras, and this is attached to a meeting date of 8/6/2024. So this leaves us with a lot more questions. For example, what is the FBI hiding? We have the opportunity as citizens to come together as a collective and really hunt and find down this bad guy. But we want to know, how did he leave the campus? How did he leave the parking lot? Why are we not getting the video surveillance footage which could help us identify this guy? They have 1080p HD cameras that were surveilling this man on probably multiple different locations throughout that campus. So if this is the guy that they claim was on the roof, then we should 100% have video surveillance of the man leaving the roof. Check this out. This is their own internal document showing us the roof access point and exactly how the cameras were mounted at the university where Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So at that campus, that shooter could have not been on the roof without being within 20 or 30 feet of a 1080p HD surveillance camera that was most likely installed between 2022 and 2024.
Okay, so I hope that video helped y'all understand exactly what I'm trying to tell y'all, because when you go look and you see this, and this ain't even the image they released. They released, this is the image that I was releasing, but they definitely released a whole different image of the person when this started out. This ain't even the real image. This is an edited image. So whenever they release the footage, you're like, hold on, why is it so grainy? Why does the dude look so damn grainy in their footage? That's because they didn't want you to get the real person. And you still don't know who the hell it is because they didn't give us they just installed the cameras a year to 3 years ago. As late as 2022, as early as 2022 and as late as 2024. They did them within the last camera was installed at least a year ago. So what are you talking about? These are brand new cameras, a brand new surveillance system, and you didn't give us nothing. Come on, cut the cap.
The situation with Charlie Kirk is not only strange, but it's really starting to get out of hand. By now, I'm sure many of you have heard that a political influencer by the name of Charlie Kirk was unalive during one of his events on September 10th.
You see, they was up there messing with that damn footage. You see, they was up there messing with the damn footage, man. So let's continue, man.
Alive during one of his events on September 10th. After the initial incident was announced, footage was released of a suspect running across the roof and jumping down from it after the shots were fired. And shortly after the release of this footage, a 22-year-old named Tyler Robinson was arrested and is believed to be the main culprit behind this attack. People have since been debating on whether or not they believe a 22-year-old was capable of taking a shot from around 200 yards away. Some think it's impossible without training. That aside, I will say I am very concerned about the route humanity is taking after seeing some people's response to this whole situation. Especially if you call yourself a Christian or a man or woman of God, the Bible in Proverbs clearly says that you do not rejoice when your enemies fall. This displeases the Lord. And this doesn't mean that you have to agree, sympathize, or even feel anything about the situation, but to be jumping for joy or excited that this happened to someone is the result of a hateful heart. And the people of God know that we're called to love.
What do y'all think about that, man? What are y'all thinking about this, man? A lot of people, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of people was rejoicing when that shit happened. A lot of people was happy.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about it. So they found him, a 22-year-old white boy. So let me just ask a couple of questions. Since this was done by a what? This dude got to be, lemon zesty. Let's keep it a buck though. Let's go. Man. What are going to be the excuses? I'm going to assume that you guys are going to go with the, he was mentally ill thing. I would just like to know, what's your reason for attacking HBCUs? That's what I would like to know. Because even the potential people that they arrested, that the public saw, were even then still white men. I don't even think there was any black people even at that function. So what's the excuse? It was a white man, on American soil from Utah, 22 years old. Yeah, he did it. So what's the excuse? He wasn't black. He wasn't Muslim. He wasn't an immigrant. He was a white man. So I'm just trying to figure out, so what are we gonna do about it? Since that's what everyone's on right now. That's we gotta get on, blah, blah, teeth falling out, all that type of shit. I just want to know, what are we doing about it? Because it's a white man. Okay? So while you out here deploying all these other people, National Guards and all this shit, getting rid of people, you got white folk, assassinating people. We're not gonna do nothing about it? I thought y'all was rah. Because y'all were under the assumption, I'm sure, that it was somebody of color, I'm sure. So what are we doing? I'm confused. Let me ask you again. Can I buy out?
What do y'all think, man? I don't know, man. The fact that they gave her, and that his family was of the people that they didn't like. It's just weird that this would happen, and who he turned out to be kind of tells a story for me. Who this kid turned out to be and his family was connected to is just weird.
Did I not tell you that it was a white person who was a Republican and a hunter and was probably experienced with firearms? I'm a supporter of the Second Amendment that breathe, eat, and shit firearms. And if I can tell you, you think black people and Latinos and gay people shoot like that? No, bro. How do I know? Because I've been out shooting with them. We can't shoot for shit in comparison to the average white male Republican. Do you think this took you a wild guess? I fucking told you. He used a Mauser 30-06 Springfield. Have you seen those fucking rounds? Do you think gay people and Latinos know how to shoot that shit?
Look at the rounds that they're saying he used in comparison to a 223 that you would put in an AR. This is a 22. This is a 223. So a 223 bullet is pretty big, but in comparison to this one, the 30-06, man, come on, look at this. Look at this shit. They were trying to pierce through something. I just don't think that kid, I don't know, man. Maybe he did have this high-powered rifle and knew how to shoot it. Maybe he did, but something about this story just don't add up to me.
No, bro, this is ingrained in American culture. This is a kid that grew up Republican. the son of a pastor and a sheriff out of Utah. This is the call always comes from inside these people's homes. Bro, this is as American as it can get. And I guarantee you, go pull up his record. He's a registered hunter in the state of Utah. I told you, this is a person who is either taking human life or taking animal life. He understands what a dynamic target is. He can see it moving. This is a person who grew up in gun culture and is a supporter of the Second Amendment. This was never liberals. He's not gay. He's not black. He's not trans. He's not Latino. He's nothing. He's not an immigrant. It's always them, bro. It's always them. I called it. Go look at my video. People were like, oh my God, how do you generalize? There's other liberals who should. No, they're not. No, there's not. These motherfuckers are built different. I've been on the range with them. I can never shoot like they shoot. Never. Never, ever. These people are made out of something fucking different. Second Amendment supporters and people who like are firearm enthusiasts. The Republicans are just bigger on it than we are. And here it is. The kid was at the top percentile of his fucking class. He's brilliant. He's one of those few Republicans that's smart. But let's face it, his parents are Republican. He grew up Republican. It's a Republican house. So now we can drop the messaging because we all, what happened is we all knew. Another homegrown MAGA white person raised in a Republican household in a state that is red. Are we done with this fucking conversation? I can't think I'm with you.
Man. Is the conversation over? Do y'all think that they got the person? My bad. Do y'all think they got the person they needed to get? Let me know in the chat. Do y'all feel like the case is over and they got the person they needed to get?
Finally got the details of what was written on the bullet casings, and the shooter sounds like an internet troll, like someone who's perpetually online. Like literally the first casing they talked about was notices bulge. Oh, well, what's this? You know, the furry joke. After that, it's hey fascist catch with an up arrow, right arrow, and then 3 down arrows. I don't know if that's like a fighting game reference in terms of the like arrow directions. It's not the Konami code. I know that much. After that, it was oh bella, ciao, 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 ciao. And then the last one they talked about is if you read this, you're gay, Lamau. I mean, what are we doing here? How? This is like a major political act of violence, and they're like trolling on the bullet casings. Also, how do you write that much information on a bullet casing? Like the oh bella, ciao, ciao, like how do you fit that much on a casing? I just don't understand that.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, who the fuck writes on bullet casings? And hey, if you read this, you're GAY, LMAO. Who's doing it? Who's writing all this type of shit on the fucking bullet casing, bro? This sounds like some internet trolls. Sounds like a bunch of fucking internet trolls, bro. I don't know. This is getting weirder and weirder by the day. Let's get to the next video. Yeah, this is just getting weirder and weirder, y'all. I don't know what they doing no more. I'm confused.
Breaking and somewhat fluid, they have identified and taken into custody a suspect in the murder of Charlie Kirk. This is the mugshot, 22-year-old Utah resident Tyler Robinson, who allegedly told his father that he had been the one who shot Charlie Kirk, and then his father contacted law enforcement and kept him or held him there until they arrived and could take him into custody. Also looking at some older images of Tyler on family's social media pages, we can see stuff like this. At the very least, wearing the same type of Converse as the shooter. But just to be clear, this is the violent liberal leftist, this white kid, who comes from a family of registered Republicans, whose father is former law enforcement and now is a minister and has members of the family in the military, whose family, so many pictures of them at like gun shows and just firearms everywhere. Oh, not for nothing, that whole trans ideology thing on the bullets that the Wall Street Journal and others ran with is now getting walked back. This is what's being reported as...
Yeah, this doesn't make sense because why they come from the same thing. Him and Charlie, I don't understand. It seems like his whole family would be leaning towards Charlie's side and be leaning towards Donald Trump and be leaning towards, because they come from a long line of the same So it just doesn't make sense.
Actually being on those rounds. Notice his bulges. Ooh, what's this? You know, that radical leftist saying, right? How about, hey, fascist, catch with the anti-fascist symbol? Okay.
Do you think they just gave us them to shut everybody up and not start something and just kind of like, we got them out the way. Let's just give them somebody, and we got to give them somebody from their side, because if we don't, we're screwed. If we don't give them somebody from their own side, we're fucked. We got to do this.
There's that, but there's also, oh, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. And
how do you write that on a bullet? Thank you, Chocolate Queen, for that $20. Salute to you. I appreciate you.
Read this, you're gay, LMAO. This is meme culture shit. This is mentally unwell shit. This is not unlike the Catholic school shooter who had a bunch of meme culture references on their weapons, and I swear to God, he was inspired by that from this. Oh, and that person who you'll say, well, they were trans, except they stated they were detransitioning because they'd been red-pilled, essentially. Actually, in their video they made, they were advocating for a firearms influencer on YouTube to be elected as president. And by the way, that person did run for office, a smaller office, as a Republican. That's who the Catholic school shooter was in support of. But no, trans ideology was the thing that was run with early on. And a ton of people online are calling for the heads of trans people and calling for the heads of leftists. And I'm getting death threats. And tons of people are reaching out to me because they're getting death threats. And then Nancy Mace says shit like this.
It sounds like the shooter was a tranny or pro-tranny. And just because I want to protect women, that I'm worried about getting murdered? Are you fucking kidding me?
Awesome. That shouldn't cause any problems. Also, not for nothing, there's video of him running across the roof and dropping down to the ground. And you know what I don't see in his hand there or in any of the pictures from security that is either him arriving or leaving? A rifle case. Yet they found a rifle case with a fully intact rifle.
Exactly. So I mean, where was he carrying that big rifle there? I don't know. Maybe I'm just missing something too. I didn't see the rifle in his hand when he was jumping off that roof. I thought I saw something in the dude's. I couldn't see a rifle. But obviously they gave us grainy footage. They didn't give us the real footage. So I'm just confused on what the hell was going on. Like, I don't know. Did y'all see it?
Did he disassemble it and put it in the backpack and then leave and then reassemble it and leave it in a case in the woods? Is that what happened? Also, as he points out, the way the scope is mounted, can't really shoot.
It says, in the process of faking evidence, the FBI is too stupid to even mount the rifle scope in the correct direction in their process of fabricating fake evidence. This rifle is unshootable in a prone position for a simple reason that's obvious to anyone who has ever shot a rifle in a prone position. The FBI thinks you're stupid. The rifle was planted 100% theater. The inscriptions on the bullets almost certainly written by the FBI. Allegedly. Look, that's what somebody wrote on their x.com page.
From a prone position with this firearm in its current configuration.
Oh, my bad.
Meanwhile, while people are
So go back and look at this real quick. Hold on, let's go back and look at this. Now look, they put the scope in the wrong direction. So what are you talking like this? This don't even make no damn sense. Come on, y'all. Like what are we talking about? What do y'all think about that? Oh, thank you. Relevant Love for the $5. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Rifle. Did he disassemble it and put it in the backpack and then leave and then reassemble it and leave it in a case in the woods? Is that what happened? Also, as he points out, the way the scope is mounted, can't really shoot from a prone position with this firearm in its current configuration. Meanwhile, while people are losing their minds on the internet, declaring war on leftists, and people like myself are getting death threats, Donald Trump went to the Yankees game and held a somber vigil for Charlie Kirk.
This is what they did after Charlie Kirk. This is weird, bro. This is just starting to get weirder and weirder. And they got music playing, so I got to keep pausing it. But this was weird. What do y'all think about this? This is after Charlie Kirk died.
Call me crazy, but Strokey McStrokerson doesn't seem all that broken up. The reality is, I don't care if he was a Democrat or a Republican or an independent or libertarian or identified as a fucking Martian. He committed a murder. He should be held accountable for that murder. And if he was trying to help certain marginalized communities, he fucking dropped the ball, because these people are going to use it as an excuse to declare fucking war. And a bunch of unwell people will very likely act inspired by this.
Yeah, this might be a copycat effect, man. This might give a bunch of copycats after this.
There's no way that this can be the person that took the life of Charlie Kirk. 22 years old. 22 years old. Tyler Robinson identified as suspect, arrested in Charlie Kirk assassination. This kid looks like he's barely old enough to change his diapers. I'm looking at his mugshot. There's no way possible that this could be the kid that took the life of... There's no way possible! That this kid could be the one responsible for taking away Charlie Kirk. Tyler Robinson, what have you done? This was our friend, man. This is a man who truly loved his family, adored his wife, looking forward to coming home every day to his children. And you want to know the sick part about all of this? Is that if Charlie was here right now, he would tell Tyler that he forgave him. He would show him compassion. He would tell you that it was okay, Tyler. That's okay. It's all right. Things happen. People make mistakes. And I'm sure if you could take this back, you would. But it's okay that you can't. Because I'm home now. And to his wife, if Charlie was still here with us, he would tell you, baby, that I'm sorry, but it's time for me to go. That God is calling, and he's asking me now, and it's time for me to go. But I just want to let you know that I'm gonna miss you and the kids so much. And I'll never stop thinking about you. And I'll be up here waiting for you when it's also your time to come home.
Man. So some people are broken up and behind this. Some people are broken and behind this, man. This affected a lot of people, man. Charlie was a big deal.
Because you all are so lazy to just...
That one I'll pick up later. Let's get to this video.
Okay, we are going to have a little chat. While Charlie Kirk was alive, he devoted an awful lot of airtime to demonizing black people, blaming us for everything, and stoking white outrage against us. Then somebody makes him finally lean to the left. And then his MAGA supporters decide to blame it on black people and start sending in kaboom threats to historically black colleges and universities. And then, shockingly, for an assassination that happened in Utah, turns out it looks like it was a white dude named Tyler. Okay? So what you're going to find as you fart around on the interwebs and the TikTok and whatnot for the next few days is that for quite some time, black folks have had a particular issue with not only Mr. Charlie, But for some of these progressive influencers who've been doing one of these for him, like the Dean Withers, and like even kind of the good trouble, not quite so much as the Dean Withers, but you understand that what you saw happen with HBCUs receiving kaboom threats and a bunch of people with this shade and darker being put on this weird website that's designed to target Charlie's purse, it had a disproportionate number of us on it, despite the fact that we had nothing to do with this, and most of us don't know who he is and couldn't distinguish him from Ben Shapiro. Okay? So you're going to notice us having a particular one of these reactions to the progressive types that are doing one of these for the recently departed CK, whose words and actions are the reason that his supporters were threatening and executing violence against us for something we had nothing to do with. Stop crying for him, you prick. He spent his career dehumanizing us and encouraging stochastic terrorism against black people. Stop crying. Okay?
I'm serious, yo. We have gotten so desensitized to death. It's just like people just don't give a damn no more. They don't give a damn about human life. They just stopped caring about life, period.
What's really fucked up is if everything that we're seeing right now is AI generated, you know, like when it comes to the important events that are happening, you know, is it all AI generated? You know, I watched a clip of Trump talking about Charlie Kirk, right? And something about that video was off. You know, something about that video was off. When we watched, or when I saw a clip of the Charlie Kirk shooting that happened, the only thing that initially struck me about it was it struck an emotional chord with me. Like I thought it was, dude, that's fucked up. That's not cool. And then you still have to think, because everything that's happening, you're like, is it real though? Was that real? And inside of me, I'm like, I feel disrespectful saying that, although I know this world is one psyop after another. That's all it is. It's just a psyop after a psyop after a psyop. And then now I'm like upset that I'm questioning it. Like, you know what I mean? Now I'm mad at myself for questioning it. Then as I proceed on with the day and I'm doom scrolling and seeing all this information about Charlie Kirk, then you start to see people talk about, is this fake? Is this fake? Then I see a video talking about that what we saw was AI. But also the video explaining that this was AI was also AI. Like, I'm just like, it just feels like, I feel my intelligence is being fucked with. Like, what's the point anymore? It just, I know that this is an energetic, like, it's all about energy. But, like, I feel like everybody is upset about, like, nothing at the end of the day. And I think that's the joke. Is it a joke? Because I don't like this at all. And the whole thing is I know this. I know that I know that this machine is capable of pumping out false information or things that may or may not have happened in real life. Yet, for us as the people consuming the information, like, our emotions are going this way and that way. And it might not have even happened. Like, I don't know, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You see what I'm saying? Like, because we're in a time of, like, questioning everything, right? But it feels disrespectful to question it, because what if it actually did happen? Does it matter if it was real or fake? Like, it's weird, dude. Like, I don't really like any of this. This doesn't make sense to me, and I kind of want it to stop. And all I feel like the only way for it to stop is if I just, like, turn off social media. Like, if I just stop looking at all of this, because at the end of the day, like, you know, are videos gonna get removed if we question this stuff? This is stupid, dude. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it anymore.
Is that the only person feeling like everything is starting to seem like it's just AI and it's just a bunch of weird shit going on and you just can't tell the truth from a lie no more? Is that the only person, or does somebody else? My bad, this ain't to be that one yet. Is anybody else in the building feeling like that? Like I just can't tell the truth from a lie no more.
Trump just said that with a high degree of certainty they think they have the shooter. This is breaking. Here, I'll let you see him say it.
Any updates on the suspect?
Yeah, can I always say, I think, just to protect us all, so Fox doesn't get sued and we all don't get sued and everything else, but I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, okay? In custody, everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor, everybody did a great job. You know, getting somebody that you start off with absolutely nothing. And we started off with a clip that made him look like an ant. That was almost useless. We just saw there was somebody up there. And so much work has been done over the last 2.5 days. You know, it's amazing actually when you start off with that and then all of a sudden you get lucky or talent or whatever it is. But yeah, I think we're in great shape. He's in custody.
So as we know, the shooter's already in custody, and officials at Utah have already talked about invoking the death penalty. So I'll give you more facts and information as this develops. I'm assuming they want to make sure that this is the person before they release this individual's information. It won't surprise me if this information starts getting leaked out soon. So as I hear more, I'll update you guys.
So what do y'all think about that? What Trump had to say? It just comes off a little weird. I ain't gonna lie, it's just a little weird. He been moving a little weird since this Christian again. He been moving a little weird since this Charlie Kirk situation happened. I ain't gonna lie.
The reason why Christians and liberals can condemn murder and call.
Okay, that's one I save for later too. My bad. I'm gonna save that one for later too.
Charlie Kirk is the true definition of a Christian. He said he wanted to be remembered as a Christian. What I know now at the age of 40 is Christianity is a cult. And Christians hide behind God to do some of the worst and heinous things in the world to people that don't look like them and don't pray like them. All through the last couple of days, Christians have saying he was a Christian, he was a God-fearing man, and yet he did not follow the practices of God. The most simple one is love thy neighbor. Charlie Kirk didn't love anybody that wasn't white, straight, and cis. He dehumanized the LGBTQIA plus community. He degraded Black people and people of color. He was xenophobic. He did not like Jewish people. The man was only for the white race. And what I am seeing is a lot of people having sympathy for a man who was toxic to everyone's environment, who did not look like him or pray like him. I'm seeing football players saying he was a man of God and he had children. So those children that were unalived in those mass shootings had parents. And he said, sometimes you got to take some of them out just to keep the Second Amendment. We don't need stricter gun laws. We need more guns. I don't think God would be okay with guns being around children 24/7. I've never seen this many people fired over saying things that Charlie Kirk said himself. Christians right now are trying to use Charlie Kirk as a martyr. Right-wing nuts are using Charlie Kirk as a martyr. White Christian nationalists are using Charlie Kirk as a martyr. And they're saying they're coming after the liberals and the leftists. Is that Christian-like? I'm just asking, is that Christian-like? A love from a Christian is the most hateful thing you can receive. They want war. And the funny thing about it is they don't want war on their own people that don't agree with them, because they can't tell who is right-wing, who is Christian, who is a leftist, who's MAGA by the color of your skin. But they can tell if you're not white. I just want y'all to be aware. That is why HBCUs were on lockdown yesterday, because white people can't tell who's leftist or MAGA, but they can tell who's Black and who's white. So their rage and their hate is not going to be towards their own people. It is going to be towards people of color and Black people. And they're going to justify that with the Bible, with Charlie Kirk, with being a Christian. Charlie Kirk is in hell, sitting right next to the devil. That man used Christianity to spread hate. And I don't know what God you serve, but my God don't play that.
Like I said, a lot of people got a difference of opinion about this. There's a lot of people voicing their opinions, and they got a difference right now.
I'm just going to disregard the enormous lies you just...
Okay, that's one I'm going to say for later, too. That's a debate from Charlie.
I'm broken. For Charlie Kirk's family, his wife and his 2 babies. This has been
not only so horrible and traumatizing to see the video of what happened, and I wish I had never seen the video. I wish I had never seen the video. And then I guess it just feels like a whole other trauma to see the psychopathy that I am surrounded by, that we are all surrounded by, that there is such an extreme amount of people in the world that are legitimate psychopaths, that are legitimately terrible, low IQ, disgusting human beings. And even as I'm saying this, it feels so terrible for me to even have what feels like hate in my heart for these people. But seeing that he's being mocked in his death, seeing the amount of people celebrating it, seeing people show up to his vigil last night, saying the worst of things, saying they're glad it happened. Charlie Kirk was killed in the middle of a debate, of having open dialogue, which is the only thing that keeps this ship from tipping over, which is the only thing that keeps violence at bay, is our ability to talk to each other. If you thought you were taking out some sort of extremist, you're wrong. You were taking out a moderate. You're taking out someone who wanted to talk to people. You were taking out someone who chose peace over violence, because in this climate, choosing words over violence is peace.
So like I said, a lot of people got a difference of opinion about this. There's a lot. There's a lot of people that are affected by this. There's a lot of people that are hurt about this.
I was at the Charlie Kirk event yesterday when he was assassinated. I want to tell what I saw. I was excited to go. I enjoy that style of discourse, public debate. Talk about whatever subject you are passionate about. You get to know both sides really well. I think that type of dialogue and discourse and debate is important. And I was excited to be there and hear what's on everybody's mind. Showing up to campus, it was exciting, right? UVU's my alma mater. I haven't been there in a very long time, but you could feel like getting closer to the event. You could start to hear it. You could hear, pro USA chants. You could feel the energy in the air. Kind of felt like a South American soccer game.
Salute, Paul.
UVU is not a small campus. It's got 46-ish thousand students. This Charlie Kirk event had about 3,000 students at it, and they were energized. There were more people there than I thought there would be. More people than I expected. There were lots of young families, lots of kids, lots of moms with their little babies strapped in their front pack thing. Charlie was down in this kind of like a pit, right? It's about 30 feet lower than the main level. And then you had terraces going up. You had the main level, and then you had second story all around. Outside, open air. And there was lots of opportunity for people to have direct line of sight to them. Lots of people could see the action and what was happening, which I guess ultimately is also not a great thing. I worked my way down low to the bottom. I was about 30 yards in front of Charlie, in front of the tent, in front of the prove me wrong tent. It was tightly packed. There were a lot of people there. And so we're all standing shoulder to shoulder. And I found the perfect spot with two short people in front of me, and I could see everything. It's kind of like scoring a good spot at a concert. That's what it felt like. We weren't far into it. We were on the second or third question. We were probably 20 minutes in.
and they were talking about gun violence. I forget the exact question posed, but Charlie was responding to the question about gun violence when his neck exploded. And the shot rang out. It didn't ring out, it cracked out. From like where we were, I heard one rifle shot, and we're down in this pit, lots of concrete and buildings everywhere. It didn't echo, but it made a unique crack kind of report.
And this is someone who witnessed it, guys. This is a witness who was there at the event.
I had one thought. It was very quick. That maybe it's a joke. Maybe this is a gag. Maybe this is a piece of theater or stagecraft to really like drive home this important topic of gun control that is being debated. That thought did not last long.
Remember, this is a witness who saw the whole thing. He was right there at the university when it happened. So that's why he's really emotional about it.
This like a super physical reaction that I have to thinking about this. Every time I've tried to like tell like my family like what happened, or like if I think about it, I get these like involuntary shakes. Trauma's a weird thing. He gets shot. It looks bad from where we are. We all hit the ground, and we're on top of each other, right? I'm on top of some dude, two other dudes are like have fallen on top of me, and I am waiting for more bullets to start raining down into bodies. I'm ready for the mass shooting part to begin. Because man, it's the opportunity for it. Like we're down in this slaughter pit, and it's there are about 5 really scary seconds. Laying there, you can feel the panic rising. You can hear the panic in people's voices and cries. You can hear the confusion.
Some of y'all, I see some people in the chat say he's faking his emotions. So y'all really feel like this man is faking? If you think that he's showing genuine emotion, drop the gems. If you think he's just up here lying, drop the caps. Remember, this is someone who witnessed the whole thing when it happened, and he was right there when it took place. So I do see some people like, damn, this dude is being fake. I'm like, what the hell, y'all? Damn, y'all cold-blooded in that chat, man. I see some people say he's lying. I could look in his eyes and see bloodshot red. You know what I'm saying? To me, I would think that he's not capping. And me personally, I mean, y'all can feel free to feel however you want to feel. I just think he's being genuine. I mean, he just witnessed some horrific stuff. Like I said, but a lot of people are desensitized in this generation. So, hey, it's up for debate.
After about 5 seconds, I think we all realize that automatic rifle fire is not going to start raining down from above. So everybody starts moving at the same time, just getting away. My instinct is cover, right? First thing, get to cover. The closest thing to me is a Turning Point USA tent, right? Like a 10 by 10 tent. It's got like the walls on it, and I get behind that and like put that in between like me and where the shot came from. I heard the shot over to my left, behind me, and up. I stopped behind the tent and looked for danger. I looked for the threat. I looked for the gunman. I looked where I heard the shot come from. I looked at roof lines and skylines and what people were doing because I needed to figure out what my next move is, where I was going, and I know that choice at that moment was incredibly important. I took a couple seconds, looked around, and saw nothing but running, panicked bodies going in a multitude of directions. I chose to enter the UVU building, the door that was closest to me, along with a whole bunch of other people. There were a lot of bodies going through this like tight 2-door entrance, and as I'm going in, man, we're all packed together. I start thinking of. I have those intrusive thoughts of maybe that's not the only attack. Maybe a bomb's about to go off where all these bodies are right here. Maybe there's a second gunman around the corner. Just wait to unload where everybody's coming in. It doesn't happen. And people don't get trampled. There were two, I don't know if they were UVU employees or what, but there were two people like holding the doors open, like telling everybody like, don't stop, keep moving, don't stop once you get inside, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And it was like whoever those people were, they really like helped a lot as far as like getting bodies through that door, getting people to safety. The next couple minutes were spent running, speed walking, getting the hell out of there. I made my way across campus. And once I got to the other side of campus with like multitudes of other people, there were police already on that side telling people like, keep going if you can, like get in your cars and go home, like get off campus, don't wait here, don't make your decisions here, get out of here. Started making my way. I had like ran the total opposite direction of where my truck was. My truck's actually like way closer to over where the action is. So I made my way around UVU's campus and see all sorts of stuff. I've never seen that many emergency police vehicles. There's a plane doing really low passes over the campus, like looking for probably somebody on the rooftops. There are operators showing up, kitted out, ready for battle. I saw a group of 3 or 4 heavily armed, ready to go men head into campus. 50,000 people leaving campus unexpectedly causes a heck of a traffic jam. It took quite a while to get out of there, but they had cops helping move traffic and people off campus. For like how quickly the emergency arrives, I feel that that the city and the officers and all those people involved did like a really good job of handling it. I'm really sad. This feels different than other, like hard or sad or traumatic things that I've experienced in my life. This is a new type of thing for me. Totally gonna be okay, right? I think I'll always be sad about it. It's always just like a horrific thing that I went through. But in a day or two, I believe it'll stop affecting me like it is. Like last night's first night's sleep was rough, weird. My brain keeps holding that image in my head, like abusively clear. No one deserves that. I don't have anything I want to preach or push. I just want to talk about my lived experience. And I feel sorry for everybody else who had to live through that too. And I feel especially sorry for the Kirk family. For that first wife and young kids. It's a horrifying thing. I hope we can all do a little bit better.
So that was somebody who was there and witnessed the whole thing, y'all. And I see a lot of that. Y'all are so damn desensitized. I swear y'all are just, it's like y'all just don't give a damn about people's experiences.
On September 10, 2025, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. This is the possible position where the assassin had a clear line of sight from a building located about 430 feet away. The assassin squeezed the trigger and a single bullet traveled this distance and struck Charlie Kirk right in the neck. More detail all in the video ahead. Charlie Kirk was tragically assassinated at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah on September 10, 2025. He was hosting a large outdoor debate event as part of Turning Point USA's nationally publicized tour, titled the American Comeback Tour. This event was designed as a lively debate platform called Prove Me Wrong, where Kirk invited students to challenge his political and cultural views. But first, let's orient ourselves with a bird's eye view of the scene and the positions of everyone involved. Utah Valley University's campus is a mix of open courtyards and multi-story academic buildings. At the heart of the event was the Losey Center building, a multi-story structure adjacent to the main courtyard where Kirk's event took place. Charlie Kirk himself was positioned on an outdoor stage under a large white tent emblazoned with the tour's banner. He was sitting and speaking into a microphone, facing hundreds of students seated along the main walkway and gathered around the stage. The crowd was estimated at over 3,000 attendees, including students and visitors. Meanwhile, on the rooftop of the Losey Center building, a person dressed entirely in black was seen. This building was approximately 430 feet, about 131 meters, from where Kirk and his team were stationed on the stage. The rooftop provided a clear vantage point with open sightlines directly to the event area. Security footage and numerous eyewitness accounts have confirmed that the gunshot rang out from this rooftop location while Kirk was actively speaking.
Let's continue. Man, it's gonna get interesting. Let's go.
The bullet struck Kirk in the neck, causing him to collapse on the stage. But how did the assassin escape despite the huge crowd? The assailant's use of distance, the campus layout, and what is believed to be a scoped firearm indicate a high degree of planning and precision. The shooter chose an elevated, concealed position to avoid close detection and maximize the chances of escape. Here is the bullet trajectory. Given this altitude, the assassin had a clear, unobstructed line of sight directly to the stage where Charlie Kirk was standing and addressing the crowd. The bullet's trajectory descended steeply and accurately through open space to strike Kirk in the neck, which strongly suggests the use of a scoped firearm designed for long-range precision. As soon as the shot was fired, the gunman likely retreated to an entrance on the top of the building. Despite security efforts, the shooter disappeared without a trace, climbing down from the building and blending into nearby campus structures or escape routes surrounding the Losey Center. Witnesses reported that panic broke out immediately after the shot. The audience scattered, seeking shelter as shouts of "Get down" and "Run" echoed across the courtyard. Campus police and Kirk's personal security team moved swiftly to secure the area and evacuate Kirk. Here is the detailed timeline of how it happened at 12 o'clock p.m., September 10, 2025. Event begins. Charlie Kirk began the event, with more than 3,000 people gathered to attend. The security detail consisted of 6 officers along with Kirk's personal security team. 12:20 p.m., lead up to the shooting. Kirk was seated at the debate table, answering questions from students. The discussion touched on sensitive topics such as mass shootings and gun violence.
Let's continue. Hold on, gang. Let's continue. Get the likes up. Double tap your screen. Let's go.
Kirk remained calm and composed as he responded to a question about mass shooters, still holding the microphone while seated. The atmosphere was lively but controlled, many sitting close to the stage while others watched from nearby balconies and standing areas. 12:22 to 12:23 p.m., the assassination. Suddenly, a loud gunshot echoed through the courtyard. Kirk was hit in the neck while speaking. Within minutes, immediate response. Campus police, already on the scene, quickly secured the area. Kirk's security team rushed into a nearby hospital in a private vehicle. Nearby buildings went into lockdown as police conducted room-to-room searches for the shooter. 2 people were briefly detained but later released. The shooter was not captured and remains at large. 12:37 p.m., campus lockdown and evacuation. University officials announced a full campus evacuation and canceled classes. Students and staff were instructed to shelter in place until law enforcement declared the campus safe. Early afternoon, official announcements. It was confirmed that Kirk had died from his injuries at the hospital. But to truly understand assassinations, we need to look at different case studies where even a single assassin has wreaked havoc by targeting high-profile leaders. But first, let's take a closer look at how the Secret Service works to prevent assassinations. Closest to the principal, in this case Trump, are teams of around 5 to 7 highly trained Secret Service agents. In the 100-foot radius that is the middle perimeter, there's usually a mix of Secret Service and local law enforcement. An armored SUV or limousine is also on standby within this middle perimeter, covering portions of the motorcade and any pre-event screening. In the outer perimeter, security largely falls to local law enforcement officers. In Butler, the building the shooter climbed was technically outside of the rally venue, and the Secret Service didn't sweep it. It fell through the cracks, which still falls to the Secret Service because it means nobody checked to ensure the plan was implemented correctly. But before we move ahead, let's map out the basic positions of all the parties involved. First, we have the former president's podium, and just beside him are 3 bleachers where a selected audience is seated. Behind them is the sniper team, which can be divided into north and south positions, located on 3 buildings. Sniper Team North is located on the first building, while on the third building you can find Sniper Team South. Almost sandwiched in between are these trees, which provided some cover from the Secret Service Sniper Team North. Finally, we have the shooter, who climbed from one of those ladders and selected this position to take out his target. This is what the shooter is likely.
Let's continue. What y'all think about this demonstration? What do y'all think about this one? Let me know in the chat, gang.
Using a red dot sight with magnification. When ready, he squeezes the trigger, firing 3 bullets in a controlled manner. Let's map out each of the bullets in detail. Out of the 3 bullets fired, the first bullet hit Mr. Trump on the ear. This is the same round that also hit 2 audience member in Bleacher 3, rendering one of them in critical conditions. Let's move the camera to a top angle to show the line along which the bullet traveled. Next, 2 more bullets were fired. One of them hit a tractor, which was being used as a makeshift array for speakers. These rounds also hit a hydraulic lever, causing it to burst, almost dropping the speakers. The last 5 shots were probably fired in semi-automatic mode. One of these bullets sadly hit an attendee, and our condolences goes out to his family. In total, around 7 to 8 bullets were likely fired by the shooter. Here's a map of all the bullets fired to help you understand better. Everybody was complaining about the Secret Service sniper for taking 2 minutes to take out the shooter, but let's take a look from the sniper's point of view. First of all, we have these tree lines that could have obstructed the Sniper Team North, while the Sniper Team South had a clear line of sight. Here are 2 scenarios circulating on the internet. In scenario 1, the leaves and branches of the tree covered almost 90% of the shooter's entire position. However, for an experienced shooter, this would have been possible to manage. He might have fired the shot and took out the threat. Let's look at scenario 2. The distance from Sniper South to the shooter was around 600 to 700 feet. This is also a possible shot and can be accounted for by assuming that Sniper Team South took out the shooter from this range. When ready, he took his shot and fired his rifle with a 308 Winchester round, taking out the shooter. So maybe there was some miscommunication between the 2 teams regarding who should take out the shooter, resulting in a delay of around 2 minutes when the threat was detected on the roof. Let me know what you think in the comments section should the second sniper team reacted much faster. We have here the corrected and verified timeline, from the moment Thomas Mueller Crook arrival, to when the former president getting into his personal plane Trump Force One, all in the videos ahead. Thomas Mueller Crook parked his van on Lawrence Avenue. The van was also suspected of containing explosives. He got out and walked all the way to this bottling company plant, choosing the building on the right. He then climbed a ladder located there and made his way to the top of this slanted roof, also thought previously unsafe by the Secret Service director. At around 5:10, Crooks was first identified as a person of interest, and 5:30 Crooks was spotted with a rangefinder. 5:52 Crooks was spotted on the roof by the Secret Service. At 6:12 p.m. ET, Trump starts addressing his supporters and speaks for roughly 6 minutes before multiple gunfire erupts. Trump
6 minutes. Notice all of the numbers that happen in all these shootings.
Was in the
6 minutes into his speech.
Middle of speaking when someone in the crowd was heard saying he's got a gun. As the video captured someone in the crowd repeating, on the roof, he's got a gun. It's here that 3 shots rang out. A pause and 5 more shots in rapid succession were heard. For some unknown reason, the shooter had a clear line of sight from an elevated level well positioned as a sniper nest. Interestingly, a heavy-duty ladder was also located on the side. It might be a permanent fixture. He aimed with this AR-15, a semi-automatic rifle, At around 6:11, he aimed his sights on the former president and squeezed the trigger, releasing the bullet. At 6:11:34, Trump.
Yeah, that's crazy. He would use an AR-15 in that damn attempt on Donald. That's crazy work.
Touched the right side of his face. At 6:11:35, Trump took cover as U.S. Secret Service agents rushed to the podium to surround him. From the top angle, this is what it looks like when replaying how the bullet missed Mr. Trump as he moved his head at the last millisecond. Interestingly, this bullet would have hit the former president if his head had been turned towards the audience as shown here in this visualization. But wait, the president didn't face just one assassination attempt. There was a second attempt just months earlier at his Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach. This exclusive private club offers its members world-class amenities including 27 holes of championship golf. Now let's examine the positions of Mr. Donald Trump and the shooter. Currently, Mr. Trump is positioned at the 5th hole, while the shooter was reportedly waiting behind the chain-link fences in close proximity. Based on the analysis, Trump was approximately 300 to 500 yards away from the gunman at the time, which is approximately 200 to 457 meters. While the Secret Service sniper's agent inspecting around the 6th hole of the golf course and not on the 5th hole as suggested in our earlier video. This visual representation provides a clearer understanding of the layout and the critical distance between the two individuals during the incident. Now that we've understand the gunman's position, we can piece together his actions. He arrived in a black Nissan SUV and parked somewhere in the vicinity, likely choosing a discreet location to avoid drawing attention. After extensive scouting, he began searching for the ideal vantage point, carefully timing his movements. His aim was to strike at the precise moment when Mr. Trump would reach the 5th hole of the golf course. In this animation, we observe the former President Trump traveling in this golf cart, unaware of the imminent danger. Little did he know the gunman was waiting for the last 12 hours to take his best shot at the former president. As stated, the assailant was armed with an SKS and not an AK-47, as earlier reported. As the president stepped out of the golf cart and prepared to take his shot, a Secret Service agent noticed something suspicious. The suspect had inserted the barrel of his rifle through a gap in the chain-link fence on the outskirts of Trump International Golf Course. This took place at approximately 1:28 or 1:29 p.m. The moment the rifle barrel emerged through the chain fence, the Secret Service acted swiftly. Shots were fired at around 1:30 p.m., neutralizing the threat before the gunman could execute his plan. The suspect, identified as Ryan Wesley Ralph, 58, intended to create shock and awe, capturing the entire incident on his GoPro camera. His objective was to sow division among the American people and potentially incite a civil war. Upon inspecting the sniper's location, investigators discovered 2 bags and a ceramic tile, items that may have been part of his setup or escape plan. We also make original engineering content, so please subscribe and hit the...
What y'all think about that? That's crazy work. That's crazy, crazy work. Man. I'm gonna get to that one too. I'm gonna get to that one a little bit later.
I want to take a second to...
All right, so what are you guys thinking right now, man? Do y'all think that they got the right man? Is anyone in this chat thinking that they didn't get the right man? Do y'all think they got the right man? What are y'all thoughts on the person that they arrested?
Issue a retraction in regards to the alleged killer of Charlie Kirk. We are being told that it was not an Israeli conspiracy. It was, according to the FBI, the act of a lone gunman named Tyler Robinson, a deranged lone gunman who just happened to have not 1, but 2 patsies in the crowd. We are also now being told that it was his father, Matt Robinson, now hailed as the father of justice, who turned his son into the authorities. In a press conference shortly thereafter, FBI Director Kash Patel proudly announced that the suspect was apprehended in record time, quote, in less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise. According to CNN, a family member told investigators that Robinson had, quote, become more political in recent years, and that the authorities had also discovered anti-fascist messages engraved on the ammunition. Prime Minister Netanyahu went on Fox News, though, to claim that Charlie Kirk was assassinated by a combination of, quote, radical Islamists and ultra-progressives. Now, in terms of the murder weapon, the FBI stated that they found the shooter's rifle in the woods, fully assembled. And here is Robinson caught on CCTV footage making that getaway from the rooftop with said rifle.
I don't believe that was that rifle. I think he had a backpack or something, but I did not see a rifle. Did anybody see a rifle in his hands? It looked like a backpack. I don't know. And it looked like he had, if it was the rifle, he had it in something. So why would he wrap it in a towel in the woods if he already had a case for it? It don't make sense.
Yes, people people have been telling me that the barrel can be disassembled in seconds, which he then put back together in the woods to hide it from authorities. So yeah, that's it.
So if I'm already in the woods and I got away with it, why the hell would I would just disassemble it and hide it in different places in the woods. I wouldn't reassemble it in the woods. I'm trying to get the hell away. I ain't got time to be trying to put this damn shit back together. I'm gonna disassemble it, and I ain't putting nothing back together. Why would I go to the woods just to put it back together? That would make absolutely no sense.
I literally just said I was done with this nonsense. And I literally just made a post showing how they're all part of a club that loves the number 33. And I showed it in the very first Yahoo article talking about it today. If you scroll down, they always do it. They show you 3 and 3 in this article. They tell you. But guess what? They think you are so dumb that they just rub it in your face so insanely. Following a nearly 2-day manhunt, a suspect in the was taken into custody on Friday, 33 hours after he was boom. You almost gotta be a blubbering idiot not to see how this is just complete and utter false flag nonsense. False flag nonsense. You're believing a bunch of liars that are lying to you, including this guy. They're making an idol out of him, and you're paying tribute and you're worshiping a fallen idol. How do you not get this? He's not gone. He's part of the club. He's going to resurface very shortly in a new role. That's what they do. They fake and stage this stuff. MLK is Don King. Go watch my video. MLK is Don King. I found many birthmarks, exact birthmarks. You're being played, people, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the hand symbols and the gestures. Yeah, they all worship freaking Lucifer. Figure it out. I'm annoyed now. Now I'm just mad that all of you can't figure this out when they're rubbing it in your face with their little 33s. Now I'm just pissed. Now I'm pissed. First I cared and I just wanted to help and have people see the truth. Now I'm just pissed that you're all falling for their BS. Figure it out.
Man, I think certain people are fed up. I know I'm fed up that they are throwing it right in our faces. That's the crazy part to me is they literally are throwing every bit of this in our face with the numbers. They're like, oh, well, it took us less than 36 hours and 33 to be exact. Why would the number 36 be important? Why couldn't you say in less than 48 hours? We got you in less than 40 hours or something. You had to say, hey, it happened in less than 36 hours, guys, but 33 hours to be exact. It took us 33 hours to find this man. Yeah, 33 this, 36 that, 11 here, 33 here. They just keep sprinkling in the numbers in our face.
How many coincidences before it becomes mathematically impossible? We are watching a movie. This is another example to show you this Charlie Kirk shooting is all being staged. This all comes back to the Q posts, what we've been talking about for a very long time, and the world is going to awaken to Q. So let's go back and show you another proof. On the day of the shooting, Erica Kirk put out a post about 3 hours before it all took place, and it was Psalms 46:1. If you type in 461 on the Q post, it says, what makes a movie good? Great actors. There's one. 2 days before the shooting, the El Salvadorian president put out a post on his X with just 3 words, buckle up buttercups. On the exact day of the shooting, there's a Q post which says, buckle up buttercups, it's about to get bumpy. A few hours before the shooting, Donald Trump put out a post and it said, what's with Russia violating Poland's airspace with drones? Here we go. You type in here we go and it says, buckle up, here we go, Q. Well, here's another one. Q told us follow the wives. So let's have a look at Erica Kirk. Her last post was 5 days ago on her Instagram account. And it was a video. And it says, I wanted to make sure you were the first. and it says 10 days, September the 16th. So we type in September the 16th on Q, it says, buckle up. Memes at the ready. It says, do you believe in coincidences? The fight is real. The time is now. This is the turning point. So if we go, do you believe in coincidences? It says, do you believe in coincidences? How many coincidences before it becomes mathematically impossible? Expand your thinking. How many coincidences before it is mathematically impossible? The world is watching. The world is changing. Where we go one, we go all. What are the odds of that? Mathematically impossible. Coincidence? The truth is right in front of you. And Q keeps telling us how many coincidences before it becomes mathematically impossible. Wait until you learn who has been talking to you here. It says, set the stage from Trump. Do you believe? Buckle up. And this is where it takes us to. Panic in DC. And it says, people actually believe those responsible for the attempted coup, the coup attempt of a duly elected sitting US president, will go unpunished. End of our constitutional republic. No equal justice under law. No accountability. Escape unscathed. Buckle up. And that's what's about to come. Panic in DC. All the signs are there. It was a stage shooting. It brings us back to the Q pose, and it's showing us, be prepared, because it's all about to come out in one go. So again, how many coincidences before it becomes mathematically impossible? Buckle up.
Man, that's kind of creepy. I ain't gonna lie. That is some creepy-ish. You know, and let's check this out as well. Let's check this out as well.
Like 2 days ago, my husband, Charlie, went to see the face of his Savior and his God. Charlie always said that when he was gone, he wanted to be remembered for his courage and for his faith.
And this is Charlie Kirk's wife. This is his wife.
And one of the final conversations that he had on this earth, my husband witnessed for his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Now and for all eternity, he will stand at his Savior's side, wearing the glorious crown of a martyr. Charlie loved life.
What are your thoughts on her emotion? How do you think she's looking up here? And I'm not saying judge. I'm just saying, just what is your first initial thought just looking at it?
He loved his life. He loved America. He loved nature, which helped him always bring him closer to God. He loved the Chicago Cubs. And my goodness, did he love the Oregon Ducks. Want me to say go Ducks, so I have to since they play on Saturday. So go Ducks. But most of all, Charlie loved his children. And he loved me with all of his heart. And I knew that.
I ain't gonna lie, the dude that I've seen that just witnessed everything, the blonde-haired guy, he showed more emotion so far than she has. I'm gonna be real. Now, I ain't judging her. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, but that man had bloodshot red eyes. He looked worried, concerned, like he ain't been sleeping, looked stressed out. She looked fine to me so far.
Every day I knew that. He made sure I knew that every day. Every day he would ask me, how can I serve you better? How can I be a better husband? How can I be a better father? Every day. Every day. Such a good man. He still is a good man. He was the perfect father. He was the perfect husband. Charlie always believed that God's design for marriage and the family was absolutely amazing, and it is. It is, and it was the greatest joy of his life. And over, he would tell all these young people to come and find their future spouse, become wives and husbands and parents. And the reason why is because he wanted you all to experience what he had and still has. He wanted everyone to bring heaven into this earth through love and joy that comes from raising a family. It's beautiful.
She, to me, I'm gonna just be real, and I'm gonna call it right down the middle. I don't believe her. I'm sorry. I'm not desensitized. I just do this for a living, and I'm not no expert in body language, but I feel like I'm pretty damn good at it. I'm gonna be real. I feel like I'm pretty damn good at reading body language. Her body language is giving off she's a part of this shit. And I think even his friend who gave the announcement today, the big guy in the big White House, I think he's a part of it too. I'm sorry to say it. I just think everybody knows everybody knows that they had to give up somebody, and poor little Tyler, you out of there. I don't really know if you did it or not, but I definitely know that they put your ass in position.
Charlie always said that if he ever ran for office, I know a lot of you asked if he ever was going to, but privately he told me if he ever did run for office that his top priority would be to revive the American family. That was his priority. One of Charlie's favorite Bible verses was Ephesians 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. My husband laid down his life for me, for our nation, for our children. He showed the ultimate and true covenantal love.
So drop the gems if you buy her story. Drop the caps if you think she's a liar. If y'all think she's up here lying, drop the caps. If you think she's telling the truth, drop the gems. If y'all believe her, drop the gems. If you don't, drop the caps.
I will never, ever have the words to describe the loss that I feel in my heart. I honestly have no idea what any of this means. I know that God does, but I don't. But Charlie, baby, I know you do too. I know you do. So does our Lord. And our world is filled with evil. But our God, you guys, our God is so good. He's so incredibly good. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Already I have seen the worldwide outpouring of love for my husband. I've heard the testimonies from people my husband inspired to get married, to start families, to seek out a relationship with God. It's the most important one of all. The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country. In this world, you have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it. It will become stronger, bolder, louder, and greater than ever. My husband's mission will not end, not even for a moment. And one of Charlie's greatest talents was his ability, this phenomenal ability to choose great people to follow him. He could always find the ones who could handle any setback. And it's almost like he knew. He could see it in you. Even when you couldn't see it in yourself, he just knew. He knew you could handle it. You thought you only had 5% left, and he knew you had 15. He knew you were ready to go that extra mile even when you didn't. He always challenged people around him to work harder and to be better. He never gave up. And I love knowing that one of his mottos was never surrender.
I ain't gonna lie, man. This chick is just not giving what it's supposed to give to some. Ladies and gentlemen in the room, hypothetically speaking, knock on wood, nothing happened to nobody's spouse. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, something happens to your significant other, like this, like what we just witnessed. Could you get up there in 33 hours? All pun intended. Could you get up there in 33 hours and deliver this message like this, in this fashion? I ain't gonna lie. If I was with somebody and they were taken out in that fashion and I was married to them and whoop-de-whoop-de, ain't no way in hell I would be able to get up there and talk about anything. I wouldn't be able to make it through a couple of sentences. I don't think I would be, just knowing me, when I love hard. I'm very emotional when it comes to love. So if anything happened to anybody that I loved, I don't think I could do this. I don't think I could speak at somebody's funeral. Like if I loved them, I ain't no way in hell I could just get through a funeral, let alone get in front of the whole world a couple days after this happened and talk to them. Nah, I wouldn't. I'm sorry, I can't make no damn statements right now. I still ain't seen Vanessa Bryant really. I don't even think has Kobe's wife even fucking spoke. I don't remember her saying shit. But you don't really see people, wives and husbands, acting like this after they die.
So I want to tell you that we'll never surrender. We never will. Ever. Ever. Our campus tour this fall will continue. There will be even more tours in the years to come.
More tours? Who's going to do the tour?
America Fest here in Phoenix this December will go on. It will be greater than ever. The radio and podcast show.
Why are we talking about the radio, podcast, and tours? See what I'm saying? I fuck the business, bro. I just lost somebody close. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I ain't thinking about no money, no business, no tours. I'm not thinking about, everybody grieves differently. I'm only speaking on me, bro. I fuck that money and fuck them tours. I ain't got time for that right now. You still talking about December and what's gonna happen, and we still gonna do this date and this?
That he was so proud of will go on. And in a world filled with chaos, doubt, and uncertainty, my husband's voice will remain. And it will ring out louder and more clearly than ever. And his wisdom will endure. My favorite too, but my husband's favorite word in the English language.
No, you said it right. My favorite. I mean, my husband's favorite too. She said it right. Listen.
And his wisdom will endure. My favorite too, but my husband's favorite word in the English language was earn.
What?
He would call all of you to be people of action who earn the future America deserves. So to all of the young people who felt inspired by my husband's faith and hard work, all of you already know what Charlie would want you to do. You know. If you're in high school or if you're in college, go find your local Turning Point USA chapter. Join it. Stay involved. He wants you to make a difference. And you can. You can.
Sounds like she's trying to invite us to like some fucking cult or some shit. Look how she's looking. I don't know, man. I don't like this.
The movement's not going anywhere.
I don't like this. I ain't gonna lie, she kind of seemed demonic a little bit.
and it will only grow stronger when you join it.
What? It's like she inviting us to a cult, bro. I'm cool. I don't know about y'all. I'm cool.
If there isn't a chapter, you can't find one, then start one. There is no excuse. You can start one. And as my husband used to say in this room every single day, if you want to get involved, the best way you can do that is going to tpusa.com. That's what he would say every day from this chair. Every single day. I watched his show every day, and he would always say, if you want to get involved, go to tpusa.com. If you're a pastor, join our movement at TPUSA Faith. And if you're a parent, I highly recommend that you come to America Fest in December. Sign up right now for that because we would love to see you. I would love to see you. Charlie would. He'll be there. He'll be there in spirit.
Yeah, they ain't like this. She giving me creepy ass vibes. I don't know, man. Y'all can feel how y'all feel. I don't know about this.
Bring your kids, bring your family. But most important of all, if you aren't a member of a church, I beg you to join one. A Bible-believing church. Our battle is not simply a political one. Above all, it is spiritual. It is spiritual. The spiritual warfare is palpable. Charlie loved his Savior with all of his heart, and he wanted every one of you to know him too. He wanted everyone to know that if they confess the Lord Jesus Christ who rose from the dead, then they will be saved. Hear me when I say this, nobody is ever too young to know the gospel.
That cry broke real quick. She broke that cry really quick.
Nobody is ever too young to get involved with saving this beautiful country. This country my husband loved and still loves. And nobody is ever too old either. There's no age limit. I know my husband is still here. He's watching over us.
It's like she kind of telling you to play without telling you to play. You know what I'm saying?
I don't remember the last time I slept.
Look like you've been sleeping fine. You look like you've been sleeping real good, but I don't know. That's just me.
I couldn't sleep last night. And Charlie, baby. Charlie, I promise I will never let your legacy die, baby. I won't. I promise I'll make Turning Point USA the biggest thing that this nation has ever seen.
Like, you just keep promoting.
I promise.
She just keeps promoting.
Charlie, I love you. I love you, baby. Rest in the arms of our Lord as he blankets you with the words I know your heart always strived to hear. Well done, my good and faithful servant. When I got home last night, Gigi, our daughter, just ran into my arms.
Ran into our arms. She keeps saying a bunch of weird shit, bro.
And I talked to her and she said, Mommy, I missed you. I said, I miss you too, baby. She goes, where's Daddy? What do you tell a 3-year-old? She's 3. I said, baby, Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget. And my goodness, am I so humbled to witness Charlie, you alongside Jesus right now, doing what you always want to do, baby. Making heaven crowded, right? That's what it's all about. Making heaven crowded. I can't wait to see you again one day. Thank you all again who love my husband, who supported him, who wrote him an email every single day during his radio show. He read all of them. All of them. God bless you all. And may God bless America.
That damn sniffle took me out, man. Them damn sniffles, though. I don't know, man. I ain't gonna say she lying, but I ain't gonna say she telling the truth. This just definitely
So
seems
I
off.
lost my job. I got called into the office yesterday. I kind of felt like something was off, but they called me in the office yesterday, and after I finished like half through the work, and told me that they could either fire me or I could put a resignation in, but that would look better. But they fired me, or they're getting rid of me because of my TikTok and the book post. Somebody screenshot a lot of my TikToks and wrote a nasty letter, and my Facebook, screenshot those and mailed them to the office to my boss. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I got up early this morning and started throwing stuff outside to sell it. People's come, $1 here, $1 there. I just don't know. I don't know what to do. I just know that this 2 years has been bad. It's been bad. I mean, just one thing after another.
Got fired over your Charlie Kirk tweets. Crazy work.
So I don't know. That's what I keep saying. I just don't know. It's not fair. I think it's unfair. That somebody would be that malicious to do that to me. I would never hurt anybody. Not like that. Not intentionally like that. But somebody did that, and I think it's somebody that works in the office. I mean, why? Why? I'm nice. I am a genuinely nice person. I'm nice to everybody.
Hell, she's showing more emotion than Charlie Kirk's wife.
All I know is this 2 years has been super bad. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have no idea.
Yeah, you lost your job, but good luck out there. I'm gonna be real with you. Good luck out there. We're gonna wish you the best of luck. You know what I'm saying? Let's read this. It says FBI's Charlie Kirk assassination narrative. Something's wrong. We're supposed to believe a guy is on the run after unaliving Charlie Kirk, and he pauses in the woods to reinstall a barrel, and then he leaves it for us to find. This clip is from a video Savage we posted on X today. It says something's wrong. I know I shouldn't do this. I'm risking an awful lot to go up against the FBI, the MAGA FBI. Something's very wrong with what I just heard. I mean, I watched it. I was hoping that they had caught the bastard who shot Charlie. So we saw a video of a person jumping off the roof. It looked very legitimate to me. However, there was no rifle in his hand. Now, the Mossad does not break down very easily. For those of you who know weapons, something's wrong with this whole thing, and they're trying to claim he removed the barrel and fit the receiver and stock in his backpack and put the barrel in his pants. Like all in 2 seconds. It is not that easy to remove a Mossad barrel or index it after reinstalling and remain accurate. We are not hearing or seeing reality. And by the way, the photo of the rifle allegedly left in the woods has the barrel installed. So we're supposed to believe a guy is on the run after unaliving Charlie Kirk, and he pauses in the woods to reinstall a barrel and then leaves it for us to find? Leaves it for us to find, the FBI to find? I don't believe a word of it. I shouldn't do this. I know I'm putting myself at risk, but I can't take it anymore. I can't take the BS from this effing the G boys. You see that word right there. They are lying to us. Something is wrong. Something is so wrong, it's sickening. They found the rifle. They're getting the prints. Are you stupid? Are you that stupid? Are you that dumb? The man jumps off the roof. There's no rifle there. Oh, it's in his backpack. I just told you, moron, that this rifle doesn't break down that easily, and it's supposed to be reassembled while he's on the run. Wait, I'll stop now and reassemble it and leave it in the woods in a box, wrapped in a towel. He left breadcrumbs. Oh, and the well, this stuff is cartridge BS. Something is wrong with this whole effing picture. What is going on, gang? What do y'all believe is going on?
Something's wrong. I know I shouldn't do this. I'm risking an awful lot to go up against this FBI, the MAGA FBI. Something's very wrong with what I just heard. I mean, I watched it. I was hoping that they had caught the bastard who shot Charlie. So we saw a video of a person jumping off the roof. It looked very legitimate to me. However, there was no rifle in his hand. Now, the Mauser does not break down very easily, incidentally, for those of you who know weapons. Something's wrong with the whole thing. They're trying to claim he removed the barrel from the Mauser and fit the receiver and stock in his backpack and barrel in his pants leg all in 2 seconds. It is not easy to remove a Mauser barrel or index it after reinstalling and remain accurate. We are not hearing or seeing reality. And by the way, the photo of the rifle allegedly left in the woods has the barrel installed. So we're supposed to believe a guy is on the run after killing Charlie Kirk, and he pauses in the woods to reinstall a barrel, and he leaves it for us to find, the FBI to find. I don't believe a word of it. I shouldn't do this. I know I'm putting myself at risk, but I can't take it anymore. I can't take the bullshit from this fucking government. It's lying to us. Something's wrong. Something's so wrong. It's sickening. Look at this idiot. They found the rifle and they're getting the prints. Are you stupid? Are you that stupid? Are you that dumb? The man jumps off the roof. There's no rifle there. Oh, it's in his backpack. I just told you, moron, that this rifle doesn't break down that easily. And then it's supposed to be reassembled while he's on the run. Wait, I'll stop now and reassemble it and leave it in the woods in a box, wrapped in a towel. He left breadcrumbs. Oh, and the trans stuff on the cartridges. Bullshit. Something is wrong with this whole fucking picture. I am persona non grata in this White House. I will tell you right now, I flew with Donald Trump in Air Force One. I consider him close to me. I have not been able to get near him since this administration took hold. They have thrown me out. They have castigated, thrown me in the desert. They don't want me near them. They don't want real truth tellers near them. Sean Hannity, immediately, that pimp scumbag, goes on the air and repeats the government lie, that lousy son of a bitch. How the fuck does Sean Hannity live with himself? Well, we just...
And that's his shit fucking up.
Sean, you know what? Kept animal. You're like a whore. Kept in a brothel. Sean Hannity, you've always been a whore in a brothel. You have hit a new low, Hannity, and something's wrong. Somebody killed this young guy, and everyone is asking who done it, and we're supposed to believe they think we're this stupid? So Kash Patel is there, he doesn't say a word, and Donald Trump's in the Yankee Stadium? What the hell is going on here? I'm just an American citizen who's been in the business of observing since I'm 18 years old, and I don't buy one word of this narrative, not one single word.
What do y'all think, man? I think he's right on the money. He was right on the money with that damn message he put out. I don't believe a damn word of this either. I'm gonna be real. I don't believe it. You believe whatever you want. I just don't believe it.
I'm just going to disregard the enormous lies you just put out there about Russia and Ukraine. But do you really think?
Let's get to this now, y'all. Let's get to some Charlie debate. Let's get to Charlie debate.
I'm just going to disregard the enormous lies you just put out there about Russia and Ukraine. But do you really think leverage negotiations work if you cut off all your leverage and scream at one party in the Oval Office? Don't you think that has just emboldened Russia? Because look at the approach. Putin thinks so much of your glorious president, he can't even be asked to show up. You have elected or helped elect somebody who is at best an idiot and at worst is deeply corrupt.
Okay, again, so Trump and Putin had a 2-hour phone call today. You'll acknowledge that's a good thing. The pursuit of peace can sometimes be a winding road, and it's a lot better than sending hundreds of billions of dollars further into the killing fields of eastern Ukraine, something that tragically both the UK government and the US government has been unnecessarily supporting for a couple of years. President Trump wants to see a brokerage, an ending of this settlement. I pray we can get it. It's very complicated because of the mess that Joe Biden left, which was an active kinetic war with a nuclear power sending American-made missiles into the interior of Russia. So President Trump has already ended a war. He's ended an invasion. He's only 130 days into this. And I believe, we do not know. At this point, we are merely speculating, which I think we should not spend our time doing that, because eventually one of us will be right. I believe we'll be right, and I believe we'll see an end to this war.
We just talk about 100 billions worth of weapons, because you dodged my question on what was going on in the Middle East, where Trump has just signed enormous arms contracts with Saudi Arabia and with Qatar. And I noticed you ignored the fact that this might have had anything to do with the blatant corruption going on through the Trump coin and going on through giving the very competent sons of Donald Trump billions of investment from Saudi Arabia and Qatar.
Do y'all think that it's possible that the big guy in the big White House set the play? Is it possible that he was set up by his own mans? Is it possible he got backdoored by his own man? Because I seen him doing his little, his little spiel at the Yankees game. I didn't think he was going to be celebrating. And the wife everybody acting real weird since this happened.
This is something that is directly embroiling Americans into conflict, but is importantly killing many innocent people. Those nations have been known to terrorize innocent civilian populations. So if you're coming to me and you're objecting to America selling weaponry, why are you defending shilling for the Saudis?
Well, and everybody, we reached 193,000 subscribers, man. Salute to the gang. I appreciate everybody for the support on tonight's live, man. We going up in a major way. Salute to y'all, man. 193,000 subscribers. Let's go.
Hold on. One is sending weaponry, one is purchasing. Secondly, you do know that the biggest purchase that was announced was commercial airliner 737, $100 billion. We've heard of Qatar Airways. They purchased $100 billion of commercial airways. You are right, there were some weapons contracts, but I guess the question is, would you rather have Saudi Arabia buy weapons from America or China?
I'd rather they not have American weaponry at cut price rates.
I disagree.
Let's talk about Qatar for a second.
Okay, fine.
Because you mentioned Qatar. You've been talking a lot about...
And who's winning this debate so far? Is he whooping Charlie Kirk's ass, or is Charlie Kirk whooping his? What's going on, y'all?
Hamas and the evils of Hamas. Can I ask you, who's the main funder of Hamas?
Well, the Palestine. Well, the West actually funds Hamas.
Which state?
Well, Iran funds.
No. Where are the Hamas leaders?
And also Qatar funds Hamas. It is a combination of international relief organizations.
$400 million jet with the President of the United States on it.
Hold on. First of all, it was not given to him personally. I understand the optics of it, but it was not given to him personally. It was given to the U.S. government. And under that standard, no U.S. government should ever receive any gifts from any foreign countries whatsoever. It's not given to him personally and not a violation of the...
Why is he trying to transfer it to his personal library? He is.
Actually, okay, he sent out a statement. This is way too in the weeds. If you want to keep on going we can.
It's a fundamental moral principle.
Okay, so under that fundamental moral principle then, can you acknowledge though that President Trump is getting more done in a less period of time than any president we've seen, while our prior president did not even know what year he got elected? Do you understand the contrast here?
What aboutism again? I'm not a defender
No,
of
I'm not saying President Trump is far better
You
than
have to
predecessor.
defend the person you spent millions.
I will defend every day of someone who ends an invasion.
That's all you do is
brings down the price of oil, who is revitalizing the American economy, who's brokering peace, who stopped the potential nuclear war, who is bringing Iran to the table and bringing Russia to the table. Someone who does not want armed conflicts with the greatest powers of our time. I will defend that endlessly.
You are living
What are you
in a
defending?
fantasy world of your own creation. So it's quite hard to engage
that, but then disprove
But
it.
let's check on how Trump is doing in terms of diplomacy. Look, with the war in the Middle East, do you think
I ain't gonna lie, this little kid knows his shit, man. This kid knows his stuff.
it was a defensible decision to tell the Israelis you wanted Trump Gaza, to agree for Israel to invade the Gaza Strip, and to continue to murder thousands of innocent children and civilians in a pointless war? Is that in America's interest? Is that in humanity's?
Well, first of all, you should know something about Trump. There's something, if you realize with Trump over the last 10 years, he is quite the social media user and uses hyperbolic language at times. But let me ask you, in the conflict of Israel versus Hamas, who's the good guy?
I believe both Hamas and the Israeli government are evil.
But I do notice that whenever he's cornered, he just asks a question that's in his favor. You know what I'm saying? So are you saying you want blank people to come into the country and do these bad things? You're like, no, exactly. Like, hold on, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? They ain't got nothing to do with what the hell I just asked you.
I think also that there is no justification.
Are they equally?
There is no justification for the murder and mutilation of thousands of innocent people and children. Well, like the futile. There is no justification, Mr. Kirk, for invading hospitals, for bombing innocent populations and dragging out a war which is damaging Israel and the West.
You've made that point, but
it's not a point, it's a moral truth, isn't it?
Yeah. It was also a moral truth that the war started because 1,300 Jews were killed and 200 were taken hostage. And when you declare war on Israel, expect a firestorm in reaction. Let me finish, I let you talk. Israel...
Oh, he mad now. He got mad as hell now.
This day of the calendar year besides Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah, Samat Torah, the 50-year anniversary of the Six-Day War. On Shabbat, Hamas invaded Israel, deciding to go recklessly to music concerts, to homes, to kibbutzes, and taking 200 plus hostages. They knew what they were doing. In one of the most cloistered urban environments on the planet, 2 million people live in a place where it's impossible to wage war. Impossible. Where they wear civilian clothing, they violate every tenet of the Geneva Convention, and the IDF, when they do something right, they get no credit. When they do life-saving surgeries of a Gazan child, they get no credit. When they drop leaflets, they get no credit. But when they happen to bomb a place where they are operating their military from, which we now know from third-party verified sources, hundreds of Hamas military operations are in mosques, schools, and hospitals. I'm sorry, the country where they were living in relative peace on October 6th, that all of a sudden we had a war and Hamas started the war. And I don't see people that were really upset about the 2 million Germans that were killed in World War II, civilians. A tragic truth of war is that civilians die. I don't like it and you don't like it. And they brought it upon themselves. The only operation and entity to blame is the leadership of Hamas, not the Israeli government, for fighting this defensive war after they were invaded.
I'm a defender of the terrible pogrom that was launched against Jews on that day. But the justification for the death of innocents cannot be an infinite cycle of bloodlust. It cannot be killing tens of thousands of innocent civilians with a war with no end in sight, people who are not complicit in those atrocities. It cannot be bombing hospitals which children use. It cannot be bombing hospitals in which cancer patients are dying and starving in there. The deaths that have been inflicted, nobody knows the true toll, but somewhere between 50 and 100,000 people lie dead under the rubble. And what is left for Gaza except for to continue to suffer under Hamas? Because it turns out Netanyahu's political strategy has not worked. It has entrenched Hamas within the territories. To be a Christian, I would have thought, Mr. Kirk, would never have involved suggesting that the price for an atrocity must be an infinite cycle of bloodlust, that innocent people and the young population must be killed to avenge some kind of providential quest. How can you call yourself a Christian? Well, you just did.
I want to make sure we get our moral clarity straight before we proceed. No one likes what's happening in Gaza. No one with a heart or a soul or a mind likes when kids die. But you must understand who started the conflict so that you can end it correctly. And until Hamas brokers an unconditional surrender, of which they are unwilling to do, they could release the hostages and drop their weapons and their lives would be spared. Instead, they are using children of Gaza as cannon fodder. financed by the Iranian mullahs and dragging the entire world into this conflict. So I don't even know what we're debating at this point, other than I believe that I believe the facts. Israel was unconditionally attacked on October 7th. They're responding in kind. And I would just ask you a very simple moral question. How should Israel have responded?
Not with the blanket carpet bombing of the city, not with bombing hospitals. Of course, some kind of military operation might have been necessary, but not murder on this scale. There is no justification for what is happening with the enormous death toll that is being produced. I really cannot see how you come here and you have the gall to lecture us on Christian morality and then sit here and justify the murder of thousands of civilians. Is it working? Is Hamas dismantled?
I've never said that.
You just did.
Well, no.
This is your whole
in
thing.
war. These are called casualties of a war.
Thanks, stop bringing this.
Again, I'm not going to justify every military maneuver of 100,000 person army. Instead, what I will do is I'll be clear that there is a good guy and there is a bad guy. I honestly.
Not the morality of a child.
Well, hold on. It's interesting you say that, because a child who knows that Israel is the good guy, Hamas is bad, has a lot more wisdom than a student like yourself at Cambridge University.
I will be glad that I will not have been somebody who has defended the genocide of the Palestinian people. And I think you will have to reckon one day that you have reckoned with.
Interesting. I want to close on this. So can you tell me what African country is currently ongoing a civil war?
Believe it or not, I know about Sudan.
Okay, good.
I'm an idiot.
How about what Southeast Asian country has an ethnic cleansing going on right now?
Myanmar.
Good. And you have strong opinions on both sides?
Unlike you, I take an effort to be informed about foreign policy and to come to conclusions. You are a culture warrior. I believe when everything is done, Mr. Kirk, people will see you and the people you've supported as corrupt, as selling the country out to the lowest bidder, and of doing irreparable damage to a country I'm sure we all deep down love.
The difference?
You will have to reckon with that.
Difference
Mr. Kirk.
is when.
And he whooped Charlie's ass, I ain't gonna lie.
The difference is when we get our way, we'll still have a country, and your country will be a third world hellhole. Next question.
So that right there was
Man. Yo, what in the hell is going on, gang?
The reason why Christians and liberals can condemn murder and call for the collective mourning of a bigot is because it's the one place where American indoctrination and Christian ideology align perfectly, right? American indoctrination teaches us to value individual liberties above most things. And the way that Christianity is taught in America is mainly a passive acceptance of the sinners, which in practice often allows a tolerance of the sin, right? Well, as an American, a lot of people are going to be conditioned to see free speech as the ultimate American right, unchallengeable, unchangeable, no matter how hateful or how much vitriol the person is spewing. And when you align that with Christian ideology, that's going to indoctrinate people to love their neighbor, no matter how hateful or evil the person is, which is what allows them to passively allow the sin and the hatred to continue, right? Because they are not the punisher, God is. So they passively wait for God to come along and fix the problem. Now, this isn't me saying that murder is right and we should go around murdering people. No. But this is why Christians and liberals feel so strongly about speaking out against murder, but take zero steps towards eliminating systemic evil and corruption. Their two indoctrinations are in constant conflict with one another. American indoctrination really highlights two things: the right to individual liberties, the right to overthrow a corrupt government, right? You hear people saying we have the right to overthrow our corrupt government all the time. The real question is, why haven't we done that? The answer to that question is Christian indoctrination. Christian indoctrination teaches people to wait passively for God to come and save us, right? Teaches people that God is the one who's supposed to come and change things, not individuals who are supposed to wait silently in prayer and pray things change. So these two ideologies are constantly at battle, creating a population paralyzed citizens, right? Understanding the language of liberty, but never fully able to practice it. And this is what Dr. King was warning about when he talked about the white moderate. The biggest threat to justice wasn't the bigot, no, but those who prioritized order over justice. Those who agreed with the goal, but condemned the methods necessary to achieve it. American doctrine of overthrowing tyranny is completely neutralized by the Christian doctrine of submission. American Christianity is the single most dangerous thing to our civil liberties because it conditions us to tolerate corruption and evil. Got half of the country fighting for guns, no matter how much evil those guns are contributing, because that's an American right. Or brainwashed to view the American rights just as important as the 10 Commandments in the Bible for Christians, right? That's how internalized those messages are. Those rights are so ingrained in Americans that you would think that they are actual God-given gifts, rights, freedoms, but they're not, right? It's just something that America made up. Align that with the passive ideology of Christians that frames resistance as a sin against God's ordained order, right? This passive interpretation of the Bible teaches Americans to obey the government no matter how evil it is, and to wait for God to come and save us. And when you align those two things, we are stuck at an impasse. But murder, the one place where these two doctrines align perfect. Murder is outlawed by law, right? By doctrine in America, right? There's no in-betweens. Same with Christianity. It is outlawed by scripture. It is a sin. Therefore, an American Christian can easily condemn murder above anything else. Sit idly by and watch corruption happen. This is why religion is so dangerous, right? Necessarily because of the book and the religion itself, but because of the way that it is taught. These indoctrinations keep us trapped as American citizens. Is free speech important? Sure. But should we prioritize it over the dignity and the safety of a marginalized groups? No, absolutely not. Is having faith a good thing? Yes. Does that mean that we should wait for God to come along and save us? No. Maybe the more moral thing, the more godly thing would be is to use your voice, your body, your life to answer your own prayers of salvation and take freedom and liberation for yourself. God didn't just give you free will to pray. Anyways, if that message resonated with you, my name is B, and I deconstruct socialization through the lens of intersectionality, capitalism, blah, blah, blah. I have a longer version of this, which I enjoyed more. But I know that this short, more to the point version is going to resonate with TikTok.
Man. So yeah, y'all, we got we had an interesting live, man. We had a very, very interesting live, man, that we did today. And I don't know, what did y'all think about the content, man? What did y'all think about this? I don't know how I feel anymore about anything. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't know how I feel, because I just feel like everybody's lying to us. I feel like we're being lied to about everything. I feel like it's time for us to wake up as a people and understand that they're lying to you. They're running plays. They're never going to be honest with you. And it's very sad and unfortunate that this is the generation that we got to raise our kids in. This ain't our generation, but this is definitely the generation that our kids, our children will be raised into. So pray for the kids, man. Pray for them. And hey, Charlie got cooked by that kid. I ain't gonna lie, that kid cooked Charlie. Charlie, you got your ass whooped by a little kid, dog. All right. No, RIP to Charlie, man. I definitely don't mock the dead. I don't disrespect the dead. I think a lot of people are have kind of disappointed me, but not really, because what do I expect from this generation other than to taunt the dead people and to taunt death? Yeah, this is what I totally expect. So sad and unfortunate, man. Just don't be those people. Wisen up, wake up. Death is not something to play with, man. And I don't know what's going on in that Charlie situation, but I just feel like we're being lied to. I feel like we're being played with. I feel like the number game, the numbers never lie. Pay attention to the numbers, do the gematria. You're gonna understand this Charlie Kirk situation is definitely them playing with us. So y'all were a part of history tonight too as well. This was after the live, and y'all see how the numbers end up. This was our highest viewed live video of all time on Ratchet TV. So y'all was a part of history tonight if y'all still here. This was the biggest night in Ratchet TV history tonight. So you was a part of our history over here. This was our best video ever on live video ever on the channel. As a live, this is our best video ever. So I enjoyed tonight's content. This was, I think yesterday was our best video. Then I think today is our best video. I think that the last 2 nights we put together some of the dopest content that we've ever had on this platform. So salute to y'all, man. You guys are a part of this shit, man. So I can't do this without y'all and the help of all y'all each and every night, man. Each and every night y'all be here supporting, showing up, showing out, and we got to wake our people up, man. So platforms like this, and it's not just my platform, but platforms like this platform are what's going to help make America great again. We got to wake our own people up. We can't look to them to wake us up. Look to your left and look to your right. Love thy neighbor, and hey, we can each one teach one. That's all I'm saying. Everybody needs to wake up and wisen up. Wise up, wake up, and understand nothing is what it seems. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel, man. I just feel like something big and bad is about to happen. Something is about to go on and take place out here in our country, and it's definitely gonna be an eye-opener. So with that being said, Ratchet Gang, your boy Ratchet loves you, and I'm gonna do all I can to wake everybody up one day at a time, one person at a time. I do want to say, bro, just stay prayed up. Get in your Bible, stay prayed up, and do your own research, do your own homework, and it'll all make sense in the end. You know what I'm saying? So we finna get the hell up off here, man. We've been on here a long time on this Friday night. Tomorrow night we will be watching the fight. There will be no live. I might pop out and I might take y'all to Discord and watch the fight. I don't know. I haven't thought about where we watching the fight at tomorrow, but I know I'm watching the fight. I got Terrence Crawford. I will be putting together a football parlay with Terrence Crawford fight in there, or I might just do an all boxing card tomorrow night. It ain't really, that card ain't really that good though. But we will be watching the fight tomorrow night, so make sure y'all get over to make sure you subscribe to this channel. I will go live tomorrow at some point before the fight to tell y'all where we're going to watch it. It won't be here and it won't be on Kick. Y'all ain't ruining my platforms. I might do it on Discord or something. So salute to everybody in the chat, man. I might do it on Discord. It depends on how. It depends. I'm gonna hit y'all up tomorrow. We're gonna see, but I will be watching that fight tomorrow night. So love to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Jam the music. We getting up out of here, gang. I'm gonna love y'all more. I love y'all more than y'all will ever know, man. It's your boy Big Ratchet. That's Ratchet Gang, and this is Ratchet TV.
Let's forget the past, we can kill the games. Cause I'm missing you, I'm hoping that you feel the same. Staying up late nights and I can feel the pain. You know it only gets sunny when you feel the rain. And I can see your skin reflecting in the moonlight. Like the candles, I'm just trying to get the mood right. Damn, look at all the time that we wasted. But what's the damn odds that we'll make it?
forget the outside, cause they don't know the history. If you could read my mind and you'll know what you meant to me. They say time heal wounds even mentally. You know you gotta let it go if it's meant to be. And if it's meant for you, then it's meant for me. I'm feeling you, I know you feeling me. All you gotta do is keep it real with me. I'm so toxic, how you deal with me?
I can hear you like an echo. I can't let go of you, no. Are you waiting up for my call? Do you think of me at all? If we ran out of money, my jokes stop being funny. Will you stand by me, honey? Oh, oh, oh. If I told you all my secrets, you knew my deepest regrets. Am I still, will you be with? Falling back in love, like we're on a Paris street and I on my knees, say you still want me.
Catch y'all tomorrow, man. Salute. I love y'all, gang. Good night to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for pulling up, man. Salute. Hey, we made history tonight, gang. We out. Get in the comment section. I'm gone.